Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love, with those you love to do them with, like me. Here, Bugsy's in bed, so it's just late night time. It's a little late night. Ta. Listen, there's a few sort of stories out there that I didn't put into today's update, and so with nothing better to do, just finished the first season of Ozark and thought, let's come out and chat with you little lot for a little while, eh? See how people are going, see how people are doing, see what is crack-a-lacking, and we'll get into it. We've got to talk about Jack Grealish. We've got to talk about Lucumi. We have to talk a little bit about other transfer news and views and clues that's happening outside of Tottenham, because it does, as a byproduct of competitive rules, the nature of sport, it does have an impact on us. Things like Everton slowly working. Jack Grealish, eh? Is he going to choose Tottenham? Is he going to choose Tottenham? Do Tottenham really want him? We've got to talk about the sort of viability of that one, the versatility that may present itself within his little legs, his big legs. He's got a good set of thighs, and a few other ones as well. Because there's a few stories we haven't spoken about, if I'm entirely honest. Lucas Paqueta, however you want to say his name, isn't he on the brink of a a gambling story, but yet the stories are out there regarding him. Lucumi in Italy, Bologna fame, interesting player. Tottenham's left back issues. We're going to cover it over the next hour, but it's more of a chin wag. I'm going to do the old, let's just have a chat. Let's get some stats up. Let's look at other teams and just go through the chat with you. So guys, smash the like button for me. If you fancy a little cheeky hour with yours truly, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell, squeeze it tight, and drop the comments thick and fast. I need your help in the comment section tonight because just like I say, it's a bit of a free ball, if you know what I mean. But yeah, drum the thumb, rub the sub, and all that good stuff, people. How's everyone doing? Let's find out what's going on. Hey, give me some good news, skis, please. Well, I can't give you any good news. There's not a lot of good news going around at the moment, is there? Someone told me that Destiny Udogie is out for 4 months. I don't know. Has that been confirmed? I haven't seen it, but someone told me. Someone put it in a chat and a WhatsApp to me today. This isn't like ITK stuff. I'm just saying someone let me. I learned that story, so I'm not saying that's I'm not verified. Nothing. I'm just saying someone messaged me saying Udogie out for 4 months. If so, there's trouble. What are we doing here? I really hope that there is some good news coming thick and fast with regards a couple of players that might be started with, I don't know, a financial dopamine hit, some sort of contract signed, some announcement of some sponsorship deal, something to get our teeth stuck into, because at the moment, Lang, Levy, Vinay, they're all out in Hong Kong. Why does Lang need to be in Hong Kong, by the way? Why does he need to be there? I didn't make the argument that Vinay doesn't need to be there. I remember when Tottenham went to Australia. Was it last summer or the summer before, when Ange was here? And I remember seeing Donna Cullen and Daniel Levy walking across the open training session, the training ground, wherever it was, before he got ranked. Was it in Perth? And it just looked like it was one big jolly, didn't it? It looked like sort of lads on tour, or lads and lasses on tour. So I don't know why they need to be there when they could be in Europe figuring out some things, because we need some things. Let's see what Blaine is saying. Good to see you, Blaine. Burning the midnight oil with Butler. Big up, chat, and Sean. Remember to smash the living daylights out of that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Devastate the like button, guys. Devastate it like your life depends on it. Kill it. Hit the like. Rub the sub, says Destiny. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Evening, Sean. Big up. Thoughts on this supposed Matias Soule link? As Roma looks... Mathys Tel link from AS Roma. Looks a decent player in clips. Yeah, Soule's a great player. We were linked with him a couple of years ago. Really, really decent winger. Really decent. Young guy, right? Let me get him up. Let's have a look. Pause. Let's get it up. Let's have a look-see. For those of you who follow Football Inc., by the way, I have found some Elche fan songs. Lolo, Lola, Lolo, Lola, Lolo, Lola, Lolo, Elche. It's pretty simple, but I'll be downloading the audio file and sticking it into the Football Inc. Chat show. What am I doing here? I need to let's not get Jack Grealish up there. Let's first of all look at Matias Soule, shall we? What am I doing? Soule. He's the Argentinian guy, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, plays right winger. Yeah, we were linked with him before. Let me show you the screen. We were linked with him before, a couple of years ago. How old is he now? 22. Yeah, I think when he was like 19, we were in for him under Conte. Didn't end up happening. Left-footed right winger. Remind me a little bit of like Arjen Robben when I see him. Back in the day when Arjen Robben was one of the first guys to be that inverted right winger coming off a left foot. He's a little bit similar in that regard. Tricky. I don't know what his stats are like. Let's have a look, see, and get the thing up on the screen. Pivot to this. And then now we need Matias Soule FB refs. And then we share this tab instead. Let's have a look, see. I've not seen too much of him. He's not a fullback, is he? Let's be honest. He's not a fullback. Let's go for the complete scouting report, guys. Complete scouting report. Not bad, but what's his take-ons like? Goal and shot creation. Shot creating action, 77th percentile. 4.52. It's not bad, is it? 4.5 times a game, he does something. Most of them come from passes. So he's passing the ball up the field. Dead ball pass. Free kicks. He's not really a take-on guy anymore. Well, doesn't look like he is. What's his take-ons like? Oh no, he is. So he takes people on. He takes people on more than most. 5.771 times a game. He's just not very good at it. Only 2. So he's got 39% take-on success rate, right? And then from that, this is how you kind of connect the dots. From that, 1 in every 5 games. So, not very often does a shot happen from a take-on. And does a goal happen? Even less. 1 in every 20 games. 1 in every 25 games does a goal result from one of his take-ons. I remember him being a little bit more scary than that, to be entirely honest. But good player, though. He's a good player. He's certainly a good player. Let's go back to this for a minute. We'll bring this back up in a minute. Good. I didn't see that link. That might be a little cheeky clickbait video tomorrow morning. Tottenham interested in Argentinian Arjen Robben. We know what we're doing, don't we? We know what we're doing. Big up, Butler, says Anthony White. Good to see you. With Destiny injured, we desperately need new left back, surely. Yeah. Anthony Robinson's my guy. Although it's going to be tricky to get him out of Fulham. The left back market's dead, guys. The left back, look, I'll bring it up. Look at this left back transfer market. The only one I can think of would be Cambiasso, or one of these centre backs that can do a hybrid role, like a Lucumi, like a Leone, one of those types. Although Leone's more versatile on the right side than he is on the left. But let me get this, share this tab instead, and bring it back into full zone. Jessica, bear with me. So this is obviously just by valuation, left backs by valuation. You can forget Grealish, you can forget Mendes, you can forget Baldi, you can forget Alphonso Davies, you can forget DiMarco, you can forget Lewis Skelly. Kirkes has just joined. Destiny Udogie is apparently the 8th most valuable left back in the game. Jarell Heto's about to go to Chelsea. Carreras has just joined Real Madrid. Ryan Ait-Nouri has just joined Manchester City. Calafiori's at Arsenal. Andrea Cambiasso is a player that Tottenham have been linked with quite a lot over the last 2 years. And obviously Paratici's links there. We need a Paratici, don't we? We desperately need Dom Paratici to come in and save our season. An SOS on Dom Paratici. Then you got Anthony Robinson, who I think is one of the best in the game. I think he's awesome. 27 years old. You know, Daniel Levy doesn't want to pay 50 million quid or 40 million quid for 27-year-olds, but it's okay for Liverpool to do it. It's okay for Real Madrid to do it. It's okay for Arsenal to do it. It's okay for everybody to do it apart from Tottenham, and pisses me off, whether it's him or Vinay or whatever else. This notion of like we can only go after young players because there's no sell-on value. First of all, it's illogical. It's irrational because if everybody's fishing in the same pool, said this before, if everybody's going for 21, 20 and 19-year-olds on 5 and 6 year deals, then what happens when they get to 26 and 27 at the end of that contract? Especially when, because there's so much supply, but much more demand because everyone's pivoting in that same direction, all you're doing is overpaying now for priced in perfection. And when that does or doesn't materialize, by the time they get to their contract, you're still going to face the same problem that you're saying that you don't want to get on board now, which is no sell on value on the second contract. Makes no sense. You might as well do what the others aren't doing. If everybody's pivoting youth and we've already gone youth, now we can go and take advantage of less demand for those top end players at the 26, 27-year-old market. I don't know what Anthony Robinson would cost, but he to me would be an absolutely sensational one. Hernandez has just joined Al Hilal. Cucurella is not leaving Chelsea, and Chelsea have got no interest in selling him. Lewis Hall's at Newcastle. They're not letting him go. Estupiñán's just gone to AC Milan. It's like the left back market has already been done. It's already been done. Unless you're going to go and get someone who's 18 years old, but you're not going to get Mikalenko. Like, no chance. Carlos Augusto's not leaving. Patrick Dorgu's at United. They're about to lose Luke Shaw, by the way. Luke Shaw's about to leave to go, I forget where. It will come back to me. So, Tyrick Mitchell, right? People thought he was out of contract. He isn't out of contract. And he's got 2 years left. He's not leaving Palace. And Nuno Tavares is ex-Arsenal, just gone to Lazio. He's been on loan at Lazio and he's just signed. So, just signed on a permanent deal. So, like, after that, you're going to page 2. We're going to page 2? Jed Spence is already on page 2, right? I mean, what are we doing here? Nathaniel Brown's a good player, by the way. He's a handy player over at Frankfurt. Very, very good. Lucas Hernandez. That's Teo's brother. Is he going to... I'll tell you what, actually. Lucas Hernandez is a baller. What's Paris? Hang on. Have a quick look at Paris Saint-Germain. When was the last time they played? Let's have a look at that. And let's look at the... Share this tab instead. It's interesting. First pick is Mendes, obviously. Was he on the bench? Is he injured? Am I missing something here? No, he did play. He just didn't play in the final. Okay. Tell you what, though. That would be something. That would be something. Interesting. Let me pause on this story and we'll come back to the left backs in a second. A couple of super chats. I wanted to say hello to some people. Blaine Devlin's in the house. Big up Blaine. Big up Sean. Had a shitty day at work. I'm sorry, mate. Sorry, buddy. Sorry to hear that. What happened? Or your best joke to cheer my mood up. Hope everyone's happy and healthy. My best joke. I'm not very good with jokes. My memories doesn't... I used to know a really good joke about a boomerang. For the life of me, I can't remember it. Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to me. It's the way you tell them. It's the way you tell them. Oh, I hope that one works. I hope that one worked for you, mate. I hope that cheered you up a little bit. Cheered me up, actually. Because I haven't thought of that joke for ages. Oh, don't be like, oh, no. Come on, mate. What are we doing here? I thought that was delivered with absolute excellence. Ah, geez. You guys. It's not my best joke, but it's certainly one that you can pull out when someone says, tell me a joke. And then you can lead it up with, I can't remember jokes. You know? Sav is in the house. What's happening, Sav? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, buddy. I'll give you a joke, says Terry Daniel Levy. Wow. He's back. Terry, a couple of weeks ago when everything was looking a little bit better, he disappeared, didn't he, Terry, for a little while? Absent without leave. As soon as everything was going a little bit, crickets from Terry. Crickets. Now he's replying to all of my tweets saying, "Your chairman, Sean, your chairman." He is. He's still my chairman. He's your chairman too. My chairman, Ulrika. My chairman. Sean, that's a dad joke, and I'm nicking it. You can have it, mate. You can have it. Absolutely. It's a worldie of a joke, by the way. It's a worldie. Absolute worldie. Evening, James. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, broski. I don't mind opening this. I don't mind opening this up. If anyone, let me see if these guys want to. 1 second. I doubt anyone's going to come out this time. But give me a second, people. We could put everybody under the cosh and say you can only stay on the stream if you come up with a funny joke that can make at least 50 people like the stream per joke given. And if you don't get 50 additional likes, I think that's it. Sorry, Connor, I hadn't seen that you'd actually. So Connor's coming on. Apologies, mate. Apologies, buddy. Apologies. Let me see if this man wants to come on as well. If you fancy. We got a little panel show we're putting together, or at least one person. Let's have a look-see. How about this one as well? Sorry, guys. Forgive me for 1 sec. We've got a monster donation there from Super Spurs, from Blaney Boy, who's just gifted 10 Spurs Talk Show memberships. Mate, you can't be doing that when you've had a bad day at work, buddy. You don't need to be doing that. I do really appreciate it. It's very, very generous of you. But thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. But if you've had a bad day, mate, look, this is where I'm going to take over. I'm going to cheer you up with a couple more absolute clangers of jokes. Maybe I'll give us 101% guarantee that something's going to happen, just so that I can throw the cat amongst the pigeons. And we'll go from there, destroy my reputation, one absolute blooper after another, one at a time. First thing is first. Let's come up with a story. Then we give it a little bit of credibility. Then we create a website called, I don't know, Spurs Buzz or something like that. Then I start kind of silently bringing it into my transfer news, views and clues roundups every day. And then in about 2 months' time, or maybe in January, I've given it the credibility that it deserves. All the while, it's me sitting there typing out the stories behind closed doors. No one knows, although I'm just giving away my game. And then I give the bomber, and then nothing happens, and I blame Spurs Buzz rather than Sean Butt. This is how you can manipulate the situation. That's what we do here. That's what we do. We've got some more super chats. We've got Woodsy Hotspur. Thoughts on El Canoes links? Good stats. Look, he's a good player. He's a good player, but the Tottenham Hotspur do not want to be signing him right now. I'll tell you who I've signed. We brought Connor into the show. Hi, Connor. How you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. Very well. How are you?
Yeah, all right, mate. Just, doing my stand-up routine, with those jokes. I mean, listen, you either got it or you don't, You either got it or you don't. Obviously, clearly I don't. I was expecting a whole bunch of emoji, winky, laughing faces. Didn't happen. Thank you very much, Woodsy, for the super chat, my man. Yeah, what did you know about El Canoes, Connor? What's your thoughts on him, mate?
It's a bit underwhelming, isn't it? I'm sure one of the tacticos is going to tell me he's a baller. Or
yeah. Oh, have I lost you? Is it me that's gone, or is it him that's gone? Is it me that's gone, or is it him that's gone? I think it's him that's gone. Or is it me that's gone? Can anyone let me know if you can still see me, or is he gone, or am I gone? I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going to carry on. It's him that's gone. Okay, cool. El Canoes, for me, he's a good player. He's crafty. He's got a lovely little pass on him, and he can certainly turn on the half space. He comes deep to pick the ball up in the 10, and he's coming back. And he's really good. Oh God, Jesus, this show is an absolute disaster, isn't it? There we go. But I think he over eggs the pudding with his like sideways passes. He likes to do like sort of lobs 40, 50 yard long passes that don't really progress the ball, and it just looks good, but really it doesn't in any way help progress the team. So I think he's one to avoid. He's not a pothole. I'm not going to call him a pothole. He's a young player. He's a good player. plays for Morocco, Belgium of descent. But yeah, I just think if we sign him, the fan base, even if he's a cracking player, the fan base won't be happy. So I'd strongly advise them not to do that, to be entirely honest. Another super chat from El Dante says, any sign of Palacios? Ezequiel Palacios, mate. I'd love to see him. I'd love to see James Flower as well. How you doing, Jimmy?
How we doing, mate?
Good, mate. Good. What's been going on? How's your day been going? Look at you wearing the shirt.
Yeah, not too bad. Busy, to be fair. I've been working in a loft, to be fair, which is shit in this weather. But
A loft?
Running new cold and hot feeds to a new house. But it's all just been insulated. So obviously when it's 20, if it's anything above 15 in a loft, it's like 40.
Yeah.
Especially when you start working. So, but yeah, mate, I'm all good. How are you?
Good, mate. You know that Rory, Chelsea boy Rory, is going to be sitting there going, you absolute donut. What are you doing? Fancy dress wearing that shirt? Fancy dress?
Yeah. I'm stuck, mate.
Yeah, he's an absolute donut, that bloke, isn't he? Donut. Although I think some of his takes I know are just there for clicks and things, and look, you've got to respect the graft, but some of them are just they just cross the line into the realms of ridiculousness. But appreciate you, El Dante, for the super chat. I'd love Ezequiel Palacios. There really isn't any links though, apart from the one that I'm trying to create, and it hasn't really materialised. So let me get rid of this now. But welcome back. You lasted all of 30 seconds. I don't think I've got a word out of you last time. What did you say? Story of your life.
Story of my life. Yeah.
30 seconds, man. I'll be like,
that's after 8 pints, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And 25 of them are trying to get it up, and then 3 of them are trying to get it in, and then 2 of them. Thank you very much. Andy Lester saying, big up. Is there more of a cocktease club?
No.
Yeah. No, probably not. We got another one coming in. Wow, look at this. We suddenly turned into a proper panel show. I was only going live for a cheeky hour. But no, we got a chat. We got a chat happening. Wowzers. Be up to you, Sav. How are you?
I just came on to hear a little bit more about James Flower's story of him installing water into a loft. I thought it was brilliant. I'd love to know more.
Cheers, mate.
It's a euphemism. It's a euphemism. He's trying to lay some pipe, whatever. That's what he's really saying. And then Code Shush, Choo Choo, the super sticker train has begun. Appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much. By the way, guys, if you were the recipient of one of those memberships from Blaine, absolutely so generous, my man. Thank you so much for the kind gesture. I will be doing some fan stuff some member stuff this week. Danny Kiriakou wants to come on as well. All right then. Wowzers. Oh, this is getting out of control. Boys, just quickly, first, I'll send you in a second, Danny. First story out of the traps tonight is today is Jack Grealish. I put a tweet out a minute ago saying, the longer this disastrous window carries on, the more I'm inclined to get on board Jack Grealish, even as a left winger. That I don't want that sort of left winger. Not the player, it's the kind of style of left winger. I want a guy who can be terrifying on the take on, rather than a guy that wants to cut inside and be like win free kicks and sort of do the sort of Maddison thing or the Eze thing or whatever else. It's more of a style of player rather than not rating him. But at this stage, I'll bite your hand off for anyone really at this moment in time. Thoughts on Jack Grealish, boys?
It's better than what we've got. It's not what I'd pick, but it's better than what we've got. I mean, are you starting to come over to the Levy outside? Like he's not performing how he should be. Is that what you're saying to us?
No, definitely not, because it's not Levy that's pulling the strings anymore, is it? It's obviously Vinay. Yeah.
He was on holiday for a week. He's back now, is he?
Yeah, exactly. That whole thing would have been wrapped up. The whole Gibbs White thing would have been absolutely fine if my boy Danny was in charge of the orchestra. But that's this Vinay guy. What's he doing? He couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery, could he? Absolute nightmare. Get Vinay out. Bring back the Don. Get Daniel. Let's go back to how it was in 2018, and we'll be fine again. We'll be fine. So no, I'm not going. Well, listen, I've in all jokes aside, I am genuinely fine with any new ownership, any new investment, whatever. I'll run with it right now. But Jack Grealish, Connor, what are you saying, mate?
I don't think his output's high enough, is it? If he's going to play in that sort of left wing position for us, I think we need someone who's gets more goals and assists. To be honest, he's going to occupy a lot of the same spaces as Maddison. I think when Maddison plays, so
it's an awful.
It's not for me.
An awful take.
He's starting already.
It's just an awful, awful take. Like, who do we think we are? Look at the state of our players. And
I don't disagree with that. I just
Jack
think
Grealish would be a revelation. He'd be a revelation for Tottenham. He'd be an absolute revelation. He'd link up with Maddison. He'd link up with Kudus. I think he'd hold the ball up there. He'd get us up the pitch. It wouldn't bounce back immediately like every single one of our wingers. He'd win multiple free kicks, corners. I think this is everything we need. A winner, a leader, experienced, been there, seen it, done it, strong, can play the number 10 off the left. I don't know how Tottenham Hotspur, with the squad that finished 17th, any fan can say no. Just my opinion. I think it's mad. I think he's
I don't think anyone said no, though. No one said no. They just said, I think there's better. Is what I gather.
Who are we getting better than Jack Grealish?
Let's play that game. Garnacho or Grealish?
We've just bought Mathys Tel, James. So who are we getting better than Jack Grealish?
Oh, yeah, but you know my opinion on... I'm not going to say, because Sean starts crying.
That's my point, right, James? That's my point. Like, when we're saying, I always see this, we can get better, we can get better. Have you seen the players we're linked to? We're linked to Canoes. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here?
Would you rather have Garnacho or Grealish?
Garnacho
for me.
Is it a loan or a permanent transfer?
But either both loans or both permanents.
On a loan, I'd take Jack Grealish in a World Cup year with him and say to him, you've got a year to get yourself back into the England squad. You can play every game. For long term, I'd take Garnacho. But the problem is, if you've got Garnacho, if both your wingers just do the same thing, the ball's going to come back this way a hell of a lot. So that's what I like. I like the variation that he offers. But
you said about it being a World Cup year for Grealish, but it's also the same for Garnacho.
Yeah, sure. But I think Garnacho is going to get picked anyway. I think more the point for me is that Grealish is looking to kind of not revive his career. I don't think that's fair to say, but I think that there's going to be a lot of options in that England squad. There's going to be a lot of options to pick from. I just think he'd be brilliant for. Like, he's a winner. He's brilliant in the dressing room. Everyone says that about you. Watch any interview when they talk about Jack Grealish. Say he's brilliant in the dressing room. He's a winner. Technically, he's brilliant. I think on a year's loan, I don't see the negative to it. I think it would be brilliant. I do. I think he's brilliant.
Do you think it realistically happens though, given the wages?
I mean, if we want to go down the finance route, then maybe not. But you would. You'd like to think that we could go to City and say, listen, he's on 300 grand a week. We'll pay half. You pay half. We'll have a year with an option to buy. And then it's down to Grealish, maybe. Right? But I don't know, man. I'm at the point, I'll be honest, I'm at the point where I'd probably have one of you lot on the left wing. I'm so disillusioned with this football club right now that I don't know.
It doesn't help, right? It doesn't help that Johan Lang is this, and even with expressions oozing of all people was doing the interviewing today. I was like, what the hell? What's going on there? But he asked a question, and it was a good answer. It was a good question to ask. And Thomas Frank said, "I'm keeping all that stuff close to my chest. I'm not letting anybody know what my priorities are. I want to keep all that stuff private." Him and Johan Lang seem to be very much.
But let's be honest.
Doing it.
Let's be honest. Frank ain't got a clue what's happening. Let's be honest. Like he hasn't. Well, I mean, he's gone in there. I believe he would have told him exactly what he wanted before he even took the job. He's not an idiot. He would have known Son's on his way out. He would have known Bissouma's not good enough. He's not an idiot. Telling me like Brennan Johnson, someone he could work with at that Champions League level. I personally think he would have known and would have said it at the start. And then when all of this come out, I think they jumped to the first signing. I reckon he asked for Kudus. I reckon they jumped to that. They asked for Morgan Gibbs-White. Obviously, we best out. Like, welcome to Tottenham, Thomas Frank.
Yeah, I think that Johan Lang is his style is in like the fact that there's no stories out there. The fact that every day we're waking up going, is there anything today? And we're scratching around looking at Give Me Sport. who's like, I would say, give me a break most of the time, but I still use them because it's content's got content. But, at the same time, I sort of treat it all with a very sort of very, very strong pinch of salt. But the reality is that, like, apart from these sort of aggregators that make things up, there's nothing of any note to get ourselves excited about, and so the fans can't even chew on the possibility. Whereas you look at Newcastle fans, they've had things to chew on. Obviously, it hasn't worked out for them in the most part, but Tottenham. I mean, I had the audacity to put out a Rafael Leao link this morning because Ben Jacobs said that Tottenham are, that they really like the player. I was like, that'll do, I guess. That'll do. Stick out a video, talk about him for 10 minutes. It's hi Danny, how you doing, mate? I think that the system.
I'm good. How are you guys?
The system good, mate. You sound raspy. You were out last night, were you?
No.
Oh, you're better now. Okay.
Is Ange, is
it? Yeah, I was just speaking to Ange actually. Yeah. Telling me how good he's doing.
Yeah. Well, what are you saying, Danny? Like, Garnacho, Grealish. Are those two realistic? And if so, which one would you take?
I'm with Sav. I'd prefer Grealish, to be honest. I think he offers something different to what we've actually got. I think anyone who turns their noses up at these type of players is a bit crazy, in my opinion. Because look at what we've got. Like, me and Sava, we disagree on Tel. I'm more of the opinion with Tel, Sean, but I'm also of the opinion that he's not ready right now to be our first choice left winger. And if we're going to be brutally honest, to get the numbers in terms of goals and assists that Son produced in his worst season last season, which was over 20 GA, is an insane amount for a 33-year-old who apparently is past his best, right? So
there's no apparently about it. There's no apparently about it. There's no apparently about it.
I'm just saying. It's still 20 goal and assist contributions the last season, right?
So you're saying he's not past his best?
Well, all of you talk about Ange being
answer my question. Stop diverting.
And he
Stop
didn't
diverting. Answer the question.
I'm not answering the question, James. If you let me answer it, mate. Like, just because you don't like Son, right, doesn't mean I can't say exactly what I'm going to say, which is the truth, which is he's got better output than most of our players in our team, right?
So
and
Brennan
he's
Johnson.
Still that bad, yeah. Brennan Johnson as well, so is he, but he's another player, right, who I want in the squad. I don't want him as our starting winger. I just want him in the squad because he offers something different, right? You need players in the squad that give you a difference. And if you have someone like Garnacho, he's gonna be his same, like Sav said, they're both gonna be inverted type wingers, right? They're both gonna Kudus can actually play as like a proper direct winger who can actually whip the ball in with his right foot as well. But Garnacho, I haven't seen that with him. He's very much an inverted type winger, right? Whereas Grealish, he can go on the outside and the inside because he's very good at dribbling and he draws players to him. He always draws fouls, right? Now, maybe he not produced the same amount of output that Son would produce, even though Son was playing in a system which everyone talks about that didn't suit him because Ange is a rubbish tactician, apparently, right? Based on the Premier League, right? So if we're going to go on that basis, then why can't Thomas Frank be someone...
Why are we using this word apparently all the time, mate? When like...
Because let's face it, Sean,
were you an Ange in? Were you an Ange in? Were you an Ange in? Were you?
No, I'm not going to get into an Ange debate right now. We're going to get into talking about the players who we've got.
You spent the last 3 minutes like making two little slide digs at people who didn't like Ange.
But I'm making the digs because James is trying to say that Son is not good enough, right? As what I've heard James say the last week or last couple of weeks, whatever. When
last 2 years,
who is actually good enough? It doesn't matter, James. He still produced numbers that none of our players do, right?
So that means you're a good player then, yeah? So Brennan Johnson's a good player, Son's a good player. Is that what you're telling me?
Everyone is going to use the same argument that the tactics were shit for Son, right? Or the tactics were not good enough because of the way Ange was, right? So why can't we use the same principles, right? That we're all saying that that Frank is a good coach, that he can't coach Son and to playing to his best
Danny,
ability,
can I offer an alternative view on this? Isn't it a case with someone like Son that, yeah, he's got some good numbers, of course, we know that, but isn't it a case now that you can see on the eye that the pace isn't what it was, the fear factor is not there anymore, that defenders are having an easier day against him? Isn't it more a case of all right, we've seen this for a decade. Let's freshen it up. We seem to be one of the only clubs in the world who are so scared to freshen up players. Like, I was on earlier with a Chelsea fan, Arsenal fan, Man United fan. They
Yeah,
said,
it's a good show, by the way. Enjoyed that.
Thank you. I thought it was good. I quite enjoyed it. Their clubs are saying, yeah, we want to freshen it up. Like Chelsea wouldn't have this player for a decade. Freshen up.
That's why we're all so disillusioned, isn't it?
I'm not sure Chelsea have a player for 10 minutes, let alone 10 years.
Exactly. But what we're more worried about, lads, if we're going to be brutally honest, this conversation only exists because we're worried about the replacement, right?
Yeah,
if we were a proper club, we'd be sitting here going, Son's not what he was. Thank you for everything. You're a legend. Love you. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye. But we're all so worried about if Tel is the replacement, I don't want Sonny
that's
for
me, Sav. Like for me, that's exactly what my argument is. Like I never said I didn't want Sonny to stay, right? I think we need another player because we can all see his legs are gone. It doesn't mean I don't want him to leave because I still think if he's playing a bit part role, he can still have an impact, right? But
the only reason he got those numbers last year, mate, were because 90% of our football went down our left-hand side to feed him like the big aeroplane going into the baby. And I think that...
Yeah, so but,
you know,
but this is why when I say...
The scariest part about the whole thing, though, sorry, Dan, one sec. The scariest part about the whole thing is when the club comes out with statements or through the media, the club are going to let Sonny decide. What is that about, by the way?
Well, it's
a sentimentality thing, isn't it?
It is, of course, it's. But we know Tottenham have always run in the sentimentality kind of type of football club, right? Just look at the way Daniel Levy holds on to staff, holds on to players, but way past their sell-by date, and we should have got rid of them a long time ago, right? And I think with Son, look, I'm all for him leaving the club, but I don't want to be sitting here with Tel as our only left wing option, Solomon as our other option, right? Because then I'm gonna go absolutely apeshit.
So with that, though.
For me, Grealish, just to go back on that one point, Grealish for me offers something different to Son, different to what we've got, and I think he'd be a great player, regardless if it's a loan or a permanent transfer. I prefer him much more than Garnacho. I think Garnacho is a bit full of himself, to be honest with you. I think he's too egotistical, right? And for me, Grealish as well, the wages, I don't think we'd be able to do if it's permanent unless he wants to actually care about his football. And if he cares about his football, then he will reduce his wages. If he doesn't, he just stay there until he runs his contract down. Or we do what we did with Adebayor. Like we took them on loan and they paid the majority of the wages and we pay a percentage of it. That's what will happen.
Grealish doesn't solve your output problem, does it? If you replace, to your point.
But he does do.
This is what I was saying,
yeah, but he gives the opportunity for others to score because if we're going to play as a team game, right?
This is the problem with our front three.
But if we're all going to say that Grealish is a player who's got very, very good technical ability, dribbling ability. He can take on his man and he can draw players to him. What that does is it creates a space for the players around.
I get that.
Right?
I get that.
Yeah, but I'm saying two on Grealish, two on Kudus. It takes away for
it takes away.
Well,
this is exactly it. So we're not saying we're going to sit here and say that, yes, it's going to give us more output because let's be honest, how many players in the world is really going to give us more output than what Son gave us in terms of numbers, right? True. Like who we can obtain realistically, right? That's the key because we can sit here and say maybe a Rafael Leao or let's just call it for what it is. Let's say Rodrigo, for example. Yeah, maybe those players might be
plenty of left wingers out there, Danny. It's the most oversaturated position in world football, mate. There is hundreds of decent left wingers out there.
Okay, Mikel Tadzi, right? Mikel Tadzi another.
He's not a left winger. He's not a left winger. He's a 9.
He kind of plays left wing, doesn't he?
No, he's a 9. He's a 9 that comes into the 10. He can drift. He can drift for sure. He does drift left, 100%. I'm not gonna.
Most of the times I've seen him play, he's on the left.
He's a 9 that comes back and drifts, but he's got a free roll.
Fair enough.
He's got a free roll.
Whatever, right? But like for example, right? If it is a 9, whatever, there are wingers out there. But yeah, someone put it in the chat that Keenan Yildiz, he looks bloody good. I saw a bit.
Never going to get him out of you, though. Never going to get him out of you.
I know, but he looks a talent. But anyway, there's a lot of players I think we could get, but the problem is, are we going to get them? That's the problem. So it's like we have to kind of take what we can get to the point where if Grealish is the only option we're going to get, I'd take him all day long. In my opinion, I
No,
think he offers something different.
It
Yeah,
sounds
but
like
that's
I'm slagging Grealish off, which I'm not. What
no,
I'm
yeah,
saying is,
exactly.
if you're front three,
Oh,
What is he gone? Is he froze?
might have gone again. Go on, James, take
Yeah,
over.
so for me, obviously, Danny, you come in first of all and said apparently Son's dropped off, and then you never actually answered when I asked you the question, has he dropped off? You kind of did a big circle about Grealish and everybody else,
but
and
he's still got good
Danny,
numbers.
Danny, wait.
So you come in and said apparently he's dropped off. Well, if you can't see that he's dropped off, then I don't believe any kind of footballing opinion that you've got. To be quite frank.
I never
Second
said
of all,
he didn't drop off.
I asked you a question and you went, yeah, but the drop off in that player is madness, and the fact that you don't want to let him go because you're scared of what's going to come in, or how are you ever going to move forward? It's like
it's not that, James. It's how we run the football club. That's the problem, right?
But that's a separate issue, though. That is a separate issue, and keeping hold of Son and keeping hold of Ben Davies and keeping hold all adds to that problem because you're allowing him to keep him because there's fans saying,
James, would you let him go? Would you let him go, son? If right now I told you Son's going to leave, but there's no one coming in that position, would you still let him go, knowing that our left wingers are going to be Solomon and Tel?
No chance.
No.
Yeah, I would.
But within reason, though, that like it depends. For me, it depends on what is the plan. It is the plan to sort of bring Mikey Moore in. Is Mikey Moore going to take those minutes, or
He's going to Rangers.
Well,
apparently that's got a £30 million buy option attached to it. Apparently,
no,
that was a fake account. Apparently,
that was a fake account, mate. That was a fake account.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh,
it was a fake Romano. It was Romano. It was Romano.
I'm not being mudded on that one because I didn't even see the tweet. I just got told it by Johnny.
He's been bitten.
No. I'm
terrified.
James, you know I agree with you, again, Butler. James, you know I agree with you, James. For me, I would love to see Monday morning, Tuesday morning. We want to thank Son. Son has agreed to deal with LAFC. But then what I want to see immediately in the week after is that Tottenham Hotspur are in talks with XYZ. You've got Malik Fofana sitting there, right? Have you seen what Romano said this evening? It's like Malik Fofana is chewing over a decision from Everton, although his priority is Champions League. Jesus Christ, Tottenham. Jesus, go to Leon and just say, how much do you want? 40 million for Malik Fofana? Yeah, I'll have him. He's quality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if the alternative, James, is that Son goes and then our bunch of left wingers that we're left with are Solomon, maybe Brennan Johnson in some weird role, or Tel, then I'd rather Sonny.
Yeah.
How he is.
I do get what you're saying.
I
do get what you're saying. But look, in any business or any walk of life, at some point you've got to make a jump. Otherwise, you're never going to be successful in whatever you do. And holding on to people like Son, you're allowing him to, or him, Vinaya, Levy, whoever, you're allowing him to say, we've still got Son. It's okay. We've still got Son. Look at his numbers. Exactly what Danny said. No disrespect, Danny, but look at his numbers. Who are we going to get that's going to get those numbers? And everyone's going to go, yeah, Son's a legend. Keep him. At some point, you're going to have to go, mate, you're such a legend. Like, for me, he's probably up there with the best left wingers I've ever seen play for Tottenham. But at some point, we have to go, thank you. You're a legend. Goodbye. Now the pressure's on Levy. The pressure's on Vinay. Yeah, he was the GOAT. He's the reason I support Tottenham. So I don't know if I hate him or what. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's at some point we are going to have to go, no, you're gone. And make those cuts. I was the same with Romero. I like Romero. I think he's a really good football player. But at some point, you're going to have to go, you don't want to be here. You're not going to help us build. You never fit. Off you go. And by keeping those, in my opinion, you're just having more safety blankets for the likes of Daniel Levy to say, don't worry, we've still got Son. Don't worry, we've got Romero. Don't worry, we've got X, Y, Z. So for me, I'd be quite cutthroat. Let them all go. I said to Sean, mate, Donnelly can go for all I care. I'm not bothered.
Yeah, and in so doing, mate, you created a reputation for yourself worse than the one that I currently have for putting out nonsense rumours. By going after one of our own, Jamie Donnelly, mate, you are toast in the in the annals of the YouTube space. I'm only kidding. Boys, I want to just pivot away from the left wing for a second and ask you about the Udogie problem. Right? Apparently, he's out for quite a long time.
Is it really?
What's that?
He's playing
out for a
fake,
long time.
apparently.
Is that fake as well, Connor?
Who was mudding his Sean? What's going on?
Oh, there's so much mud being thrown. I heard it was like, this is Johnny telling me. Johnny's feeding me the nonsense. So it's fake.
My mate Stu, who says he's an in the know, I think put it up at first, but Udogie's put something on his Snapchat or something to say it's fake.
Oh, is it? Fair enough. But he's definitely not on tour, right? He's definitely
he's injured, but I think the rumor was he's out for 4 months, which apparently isn't true. But
okay,
yeah.
Okay, I've got
Can I put a foot on that, Sean? I don't care if he's out for 4 months or not. We need a left back better than
we need another
Destiny
left back,
Udogie.
yeah.
Mate, we need Robinson. He's sitting
I go
there.
to Fulham. If we're a proper club,
Yeah.
we're going to Fulham
Yeah.
right now and going, how much do you want? You want 40, 50 million? Bang, done. Right,
Yeah.
Robinson,
Yeah.
you and Udogie fight out. But what we'll do, we'll take the cheap route. It will be Spence. We know you can play at left back, and Micky van der Ven can fill in there. You know that's what we're going to do. You know that's what we're going to do.
And
From
then
what
Ben
we've
Davies
seen,
is third
like
choice
Lugo.
as well.
Would you guys take?
From what we've seen of Frank, so just on that Udogie thing, what we've seen of Frank as well, it seems to be that he's allowing one's left or right back, mainly Porro, to sort of sit and then allow Udogie to push on. If he is doing that, then I think Robinson's absolutely perfect because he can actually defend, he's quick, and he can deliver a ball. And then you could allow Porro to just stay forward because Robinson's class at everything.
Yeah, he's such a good player.
Yeah, but if you can't get Robinson for reasonable money, he is 27, and we know that for some reason Daniel Levy is like, I ain't paying that top money for 27-year-olds, despite all the bigger clubs are happy to do it when they need to. Where else do you go? I brought this list up, and before you guys jumped on, the amount of left backs that are in the top 25, about 15 of them have already found new homes this summer, and the other 10 are not leaving. The only ones that haven't are players like Anthony Robinson, Cambiasso at Juve, who we're linked with, who I've got question marks about his physicality for the Premier League. It's a bit Serge Reguilon-esque, but
no thanks.
He's a really good player, though. Really good balance. Lovely player. Like really technical player. Can get forward. He's defensively sound as well. He's got a lovely cross on him.
I've had
then I saw the guy.
Backs.
What about Theo Hernandez's brother, the one at PSG, who's been sidelined by Mendes?
Theo Hernandez. Is it Theo Hernandez?
Did he break his leg at the Euros or something? Or at the?
Is he about 30 now? Is it?
No, I don't think he's that old. Let's have a look. Got it here.
Is it Theo Hernandez?
Brother's the one who went to Saudi Arabia, isn't it?
His brother went. Theo went.
Yeah.
Theo was at Milan and went to Saudi Arabia. Lucas is 29 and is left back for PSG, but he's not getting minutes at PSG anymore. So,
isn't this where it comes down to scouting again, though? Like they you know, all these other clubs seem to pluck these players from the French league, the Portuguese league.
Yeah.
Like, isn't this where it comes down to that? If you can't get Theo Hernandez, if you can't get like an Anthony Robinson, then let the scouts scout. Like, there's players all over Europe. Look how Brighton have just got and taken. I mean, the Queepers. That's what we should be getting. The Queepers from Bruges. You know, doesn't cost the earth. What about poor Brentford? What about Keane Lewis Potter?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's players out there, but we're just we're going to fill in with Spence. We're going to use that get out of jail free card that Spence can play either fullback.
And then what's going to happen is, Tav, they're both going to get injured, and we're not going to have a proper fullback. We're going to have one fit fullback.
You think City would let go of someone like Gvardiol or Ake?
Gvardiol?
No chance.
Yeah, Gvardiol or Ake. Do you think they would let go of one of?
Hang on. Hang on. Vardiol. Did you just chuck Vardiol into?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, he was playing less and less minutes towards the end of the season, and they've just signed their left back. So I don't know if he's going to go centre back or be put on the bench. So that's why I was asking the question: do you think they would let one or the other go?
He's their best defender, mate. He'll play centre half
this
season.
Great football opinion there, Flower.
I asked the question. There was no opinion there.
Oh, to even ask the question says it all.
Yeah, you've had a shocker there, James. You've had a shocker.
For asking a question. What? How does that even make sense?
Gavardio. Is that one of the best players?
That was like,
Yeah,
that was
I'm
like
saying.
Paul
I'm-
Rubo, right?
See if Liverpool will loan us Virgil van Dijk. Maybe we'll.
Nah, I wouldn't take him.
Is that up there? Is that up there with Lubo's very first words on the Spurs 5? What do you see? How do you see it working? I think we're going to play a back three, and I think we're going to have. I think we're going to have Sonny at the top with Brennan Johnson next to him, and I was like, what?
What about Ake then? Do you think they'd let go of
I
Ake?
like Ake. I think Ake is the most underrated defender in the league.
Yeah,
Problem with Ake, I take him. By the way, he walks into Spurs. It's the injury thing with him. If he's fit, I think he's a no nonsense defender, centre half, left back, gets on with it, international. I think that's brilliant. But
is that box office quickly? Is that box office?
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He loves it.
Because he texted me something. I won't repeat what he texted me, but he texted me in a bit of a strop yesterday, and
lately he's constantly having a strop at me for stuff. I don't know why.
I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's
Hey,
see.
guys,
He always says I never invite him on my channel. Every time I do, he never turns up. So there you go, mate. You've just got the link. You got the link there now. You got the link now.
Can I just say? I just want to. I'm going to call him out. Let's see if he comes on. When he's saying you're hypocrites going to admit I was right about not being ruthless with the squad, no one's ever said don't be ruthless with the squad. It's when you turn around and say Thomas Frank in his first 2 weeks should have sold players when he's not in charge of selling them, right? That's where. Oh, Alex,
it gets even worse than that. He said his words were, "Look at Chelsea and Maresca." When I said to him, "Oh, we're in 1 week and one friendly, did he get rid of everybody?" He went, "Well, no."
Honestly,
when you challenge him a little bit,
Thomas Frank by everyone is just mental. Absolutely, I've never known a new manager come in and before their first proper game have so much shit at them. Like this, it's utter madness. You would think this guy has done something to all their mums or something. Like
what's that about though? Is it just the Ange? Yeah, but
not from
most people, apart from the Australian contingent, like a week before May the 21st, were all calling for him to be sacked. Like it was the Anginas that were the pariahs, right? And then all of a sudden he wins the trophy. And let's be honest, like we didn't get a shot on target in that game. We scored with an own goal, and we could have easily lost that game at the end there if it wasn't for Micky van der Ven's heroics and Vicario, who almost did the bozo gene beforehand. We did nothing in the game. We got incredibly lucky against the very worst version of Manchester United ever. Like it wasn't like we absolutely romped that particular final, was it? It was the worst final I've ever seen in my life.
Sean, do you know what I wake up to every day at the moment? Every day I wake up to, well, this is what you asked for. Like when I'm complaining about the transfer window.
Oh yeah,
this is what you asked for by sacking Ange. I keep saying to these people, like you're grown-ups that can't see the difference between a manager and Tottenham Hotspur buying footballers. Like, what has Ange got to do with? Like, I'm just so bored of his name coming into every single conversation. If we lose to Arsenal on Thursday,
as content creators, I think that we are just the accessible punch bag for people's frustrations at Tottenham Hotspur. They can't actually get to Daniel Levy. They can't actually get to the players that piss you off, but they can access us and tell us every day how fucking furious they are with us because it's like an accessible pathway to being angry with Tottenham. You know, it's not like what we say has any bearing on anything that happens at Tottenham Hotspur, right?
I'm like, Spurs, sign the number 6. Well, gutted. This is what happened when you sacked Ange. Sorry, what? Like somebody today. I got this message today, right? This is how the mental gymnastics of these people works, right? The reason this is your fault, Sava. Fans like you wanted Ange sacked. He's the only one that stood up to Levy and said he wanted senior signings. Hang on, this is the very same guy last summer that said he didn't want to buy players in those positions to block the path of the youth, and then when asked about leadership, said, I didn't want to buy leadership. I want to create it from within. And the mental gymnastics is madness. It's
100%.
madness.
Guys, I want to talk a bit more about that just for what it's worth. Alex, officially, I don't want to hear you saying on any other channel like Savers, Sean Butler, hypocrite, fraud, fake, whatever it was, all these things, because I've just invited you on. You're in the chat. I've invited you on. I've sent you the link. Pony up, bro. Come on. You get to come on right now and tell everyone what you want to say. Come on. Let's find out if you come on. Quickly, though, a couple of super chats. The lazy Spurs fan. Big up to you, my man. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Awesome of you, buddy. Looking forward to getting to know you, mate, more. I see you in Football Inc. stuff as well all the time. So great to have you around, mate. And you're a great part of the community. Daniel Field, another super sticker. Choo-choo. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate you so much, mate. Clapham Junction, we call you. Ulrika Johnson, Ulrika Kaka. We're picking you up over in Australia, mate. Hopefully we will leave Ange behind. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. Blaine has come in with a super sticker as well. We're going over to Northern Ireland for the next stop on the train. Then we've got Choppy Cheese, who every time I see a super sticker from Choppy Cheese, this man, I think he's got a bit of a thing about breathing farts because he's always making something about inhaling farts. I mean, Safa, I don't know if your farts are painful to inhale, mate. You have to ask the dogs. You know, do they have to suffer that sort of pain?
I've got 2 dogs. Do you think any human fart compares to 2 dog farts? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what? I've never actually smelt or heard Bugsy do a fart ever. I think she's a proper lady. She's a proper lady. Yeah, she keeps it in.
I've got 2 lads, innit? I've got lads.
Yeah. They just roll over and go, hey, have some of that.
Yeah.
Paul Markey, appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, mate. He says the only place that Johnson should be in the squad is on the transfer list. Oh, he's here. Box office is turned up.
No, here he is.
He's sorting his hair out. He's sorting his hair out. There he goes. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the show. Alex, bear with me 2 seconds before I bring you in. I've just got to do some super stickers, mate, super chats and things. Give me 2 secs. So, mate, I put Brennan Johnson against Reading and against Luton. To me, nothing changes. The guy gets all this space, but opposition teams give him the space, and he just runs and he just turns back, and it's just he's very, very good at being in the right place in the system that benefited him when we take it all down the left, but he just doesn't offer anything else apart from being in the right place. And I'm not knocking him for that. You know, being a poacher or whatever is important, and output's very important, but just for me, nah. Not at all. Maybe just a useful acquisition, a useful entry in later on in games next season if Kudus can stay fit. Thank you very much for the super chat. Daniel Field, another super sticker. Thank you so much, mate. Chew. Appreciate you, Clapham. Appreciate you. D-Trex Kane. Hello, mate. I think D-Trex Kane he's been on the channel once, but he's usually a Tottenham away man. Good to see you, buddy. Imagine with 250 million, we can get Paqueta, Jashari, Malik Fofana, Stiller, Anthony Robinson, and Lois Openda. I mean, first, I think Arden Jashari is a baller. Would love to see him 100%. I think he still wants to go to Milan, but Milan haven't got the money right now. Malik Fofana, at last call, I think, is in talks with Everton, so he's surely gettable. And I don't know if David Moyes is used to having players like Fofana in his squad. Don't really know how he'd work. Still as a baller, love him. Robinson, of course. Lois Openda, brilliant player. Pace merchant, though. Does that fit Tottenham system? You know what? I'll take it all day long. Paqueta's in, isn't he about to get a major ban? Isn't he about to get a ban?
He's been cleared. I think he's been cleared.
No, he's been cleared, yeah.
Has he? Oh, okay. When did that happen?
I know this is like controversial, but I'd take him over Morgan Gibbs-White. I really like him.
Oh, yeah.
I really like him.
Can you imagine going to West Ham and taking Kudus and Paqueta?
2 best players, yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
Amazing.
That would
also,
be proper.
Big up to D-Trex. He is a bitch as well, just to let you know.
Oh, wow. Good hell. Big up to you. Thank you, D-Trex. I mean, look, that's Football Manager kind of stuff, isn't it? It's all it's fanciful. But look, yeah, you could get all of those, we'd be a different team, 100%. Every one of those improves every single position that they play on what we currently have. Thank you very much, mate. And Blaine's come back in again. Big up, Blaine. I love how we've gone from a smashing one named Brazilian left winger to a different Brazilian left winger called fucking Kevin in 72 hours.
You're talking about Rodrigo, right?
Who's Kevin?
Yeah, who's that?
Am I missing something?
Is he like when United had Fred? Remember, like, I don't know.
Have we been linked to a player called Kevin?
I'll Google it. I'd love a left winger called Kevin. That'd be get ball to Kev.
Brilliant.
Get a ball to Kev.
Yes, Kev.
Super, yeah.
Yeah, I
Sort
mean,
of Sunday League.
I've not
Hang
seen
on.
the Kevin one, to be honest. I don't
Hang
even
on,
know
let
who
me-
he is. I've never heard of him.
Kevin, Brazilian winger.
Oh, the Shakhtar winger, the Shakhtar guy. Yeah. I've got a feeling I have run him through the Y-Scout in the past or stumbled
Here
across
we
him.
go. Kevin Santos Lopez de Macedo, 5'9", plays for Shakhtar Donetsk. 35 games last year, 9 goals in all competitions. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, I don't
He
know.
plays
anything
left
about him.
wing. I'm sold.
He's not Son. That means James wants him. He's not Son.
Box office, mate. Take yourself off mute. Come on, then. Why are we all hypocrites? What's going on, buddy? What's going on?
Well, it's nice to see Danny because he don't answer his phone, by the way. Big up to you, by the way. He's still deluded. Yeah, it feels really strange being on a channel that I've been extradited for quite a while. But anyway, it's nice that you've invited me again. But thank you for the invite, Sean. I'll be honest with you. I was laughed at and called a waffler. And then this guy at the top here, James Flower, who is called the Hitman, I've been told, when he's a flop man, told me,
Yeah, Hitman.
the flop man. The
Last
flop
time we
man,
was on
the
a
flop
stream,
man.
you cried and quit.
No, I didn't cry and quit, bruv. I just didn't want to hear your waffle.
No?
I got tired of you.
You cried and you quit.
No, I didn't cry and quit, bro.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
tired. Because after 5 years, I know when I've heard the waffle for 5 years. Anyway,
Look,
moving on.
I'm going to go back and get the clip.
The point I'm making is,
I'm
see,
not
this is
doing
what I
this.
do.
I'm not doing
This
this.
is exactly what I do. When people talk over me, because you
Facts.
see that they're getting rattled. But anyway, and I've done it in 2 seconds. Watch that. My point is, though, right, getting to the point.
Rattled.
People said to me and laughed at me, said to me, "What are you talking about being ruthless?" Then I watched the Spurs review show, and they put the squad up that was in the that was on tour, and I looked at faces and I saw them. I thought, oh, look at that squad. Oh my gosh. That really looks really
I'll rip
bad.
this apart in 5 seconds in a minute.
Is that how you really felt?
Look bad.
He's
Really
just-
look
he's
bad.
just
Oh my
nonsense.
gosh. Oh my gosh. That's not a Champions League squad, isn't it? Oh my gosh.
Who said it was a
We've got to do
Champions League squad?
We've got to
Hang on, hang on.
We've got to
Go,
play.
Alex,
We've
go,
got to
go,
play.
go.
We've got to do this. We've got to play on multiple fronts with that squad. Well, no, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying you're looking at that at the moment and you're saying, oh, and then even more brilliant there, right? We've got 4 players, or I think it's 4 players, you can correct me, that have got 1 year left on their contract. 2 of the midfielders that are major midfielders at the moment. Right, yeah, okay, there's rumours about Bissouma. There's rumours about, okay, there's little rumours about Son possibly going. He possibly might go, right? But, you know, I think we need to get giggly on a little bit, don't you think? You know what I mean? And then because we finished 17th last season with that squad, 30 players we have, right? Okay, a couple of players are left back in England because they're going to be hopefully going on loan. Some of them need to go. Let's be honest here, right? But for me, I look at that and I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I've got to be honest.
I have a question. I think it's more of a statement than a question. Alex, that is not... Alex, this is not what you said. This is where you're confusing yourself. What you said, and I've got it on my show 2 days in a row, you said Thomas Frank needs to be more ruthless and sell players, right? To which we all said, Thomas Frank is the manager. He doesn't sell the players. He can indicate to the board and the players, maybe you're not what I'm looking for, or I'll be happy to sell. That's what you said. You wanted Thomas Frank in 2 weeks of training to be ruthless and sell footballers. That's what you said. Huh?
Okay.
Right. But no one's disagreed that the squad's not good enough. No one's turned around and said that we don't want better players in, but you turn around and you were getting all muddled about whether or not Thomas Frank needs to just turn around after 2 weeks of training and sell footballers when it's not his job to sell the footballers. He's the manager.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
so who's been hypocritical and about what? There's my question.
Well, you saw what happened on that stream that people were saying, laughing at me, saying that all the stuff that they were saying. But then, when we're seeing the squad, when we're seeing the squad of what we're seeing at the moment, right? And you look at that squad that. We want to play in multiple. We want to go on multiple fronts because that's why the last manager got sacked.
But you're not answering my question. That's the problem we've got here. You're not.
Yeah,
again.
But I'm going to get to your question.
Alex, you've done the thing you do.
Can I just get to? Can I get to the point I'm making though? I'm saying.
I really wish you would. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just getting to the point. I'm going to get to the point. Don't worry about that, Sam. Right. My point I'm saying.
Don't worry, Sav.
Right. My point I'm saying is right. Is that regardless what I said, by the way, Sava, because I don't even know what your question was.
Regardless of what he said. Regardless of what he said.
No, James, I wasn't talking to you.
Okay, Alex, I'll ask the question again because you've forgotten it. At the end of I said after everything you said, you've done that thing you do again in the chat where you've gone, you're all hypocrites.
Okay.
And my question to you is, so what have we been hypocrites about?
Because you said that you laughed at me. You laughed at me in the stream saying that I didn't know what I was talking about because you're saying it was Thomas Frank.
Can I add to this, please?
Regardless of it's Thomas Frank or not, regardless if it's Thomas Frank or not. No, I'm speaking now. I'm speaking now. No, don't tell me to shut up. Don't tell me to shut up.
I didn't listen.
Moving on. No. Don't just tell me to shut up. Don't tell me to shut up.
He didn't.
Anyway, moving on. Because I'm getting back to football, right? My point is though,
Alex, just real quick. Alex, super quick, mate. He didn't tell you to shut up. He didn't tell you to shut up.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. Anyway, I don't care, right? Didn't need to say shut up anyway in the first place. My point is though, right?
I know what I want to start.
My point is though, yeah. Right, I know where this is going at the moment. The way it's going, it's going brilliantly, isn't it? Right now with you lot. My point is though, yeah.
Well, you're not letting anyone talk.
No, because I'm trying to make my point. Because you've had your chance to sign, mate.
James, let him make his point, and let's see if he answers my question.
Thank you. Right. So what I'm saying is, right, the hypocrites are saying, right, that you're having a go at me, saying, oh, because you were saying about Thomas Frank. Regardless what I said, maybe I was going the wrong way about it. What I was saying, okay? Because probably I've got a bit overzealous, maybe. I don't know. But the point I'm making is the club and Thomas Frank, right, have to be ruthless at the moment. Because let's be honest here, Thomas Frank would have had like a 70% kind of idea what he wants to do with the players. That's what I'm saying.
How does this make so, Alex? I'm going to ask you again. This is the problem that you're not answering my question. No one's disagreed with this. So why are we hypocrites? What I brought up to you was you're saying Frank should be ruthless in selling these players. I just politely the other day brought up the point to you that Thomas Frank can tell the club who he's happy to sell, but he doesn't sell the footballers, so there's nothing for him to actually be
that's the point. That's the point. Maybe I've got it. Maybe I've
so how are we hypocrites?
But so maybe okay. Well, that's where I feel at the moment. That's my opinion.
That's right.
At the moment,
based on what?
Why do you feel like that?
My opinion at the moment, right, is that regardless whether I said Thomas Frank or not, I'm saying the club and Thomas Frank, right?
It's not Thomas Frank's decision, but yeah.
Okay, no, it's not Thomas Frank's decision, but the club and Thomas Frank should be ruthless enough to look at to change that squad at the moment. That's what I'm saying.
James,
but the hypocrite
thing to you the other day.
The hypocrite thing. I may be a bit too overzealous in saying that you're hypocrites. But I'm saying,
as I said to you the other day, right? Thomas Frank surely by now has said to the board, I'm happily going to listen to offers for him. I can work with him. So when you're saying he's not being ruthless, Thomas Frank can't sell the players. He can only advise.
Yeah, but we understand that, Saba, though.
No,
we
no, but you
understand that,
don't.
Saba.
But you-
Yeah,
but
no.
Alex,
We understand
you
it. Saba,
don't.
Saba, can we stop going on the point about what I said before? What I'm saying to you,
Sava.
right?
You can talk
Okay,
about what you
I'm
said
saying-
before the
Yeah,
entire
but
time,
what
Alex.
I'm saying to you, no, because I think we're just going over the top about this. Going
Can I say something?
on and on about
No,
what
James,
I said about
Alex
the
is talking.
Thomas Frank. What I'm trying to say is the club
I'm about to
and
cook.
Thomas Frank and Thomas Frank have got to sort out that squad. Because can I ask you a question then? Do you think that squad's going to be good enough to go into the season next season on multiple fronts?
Everyone said no. We've all
Exactly.
agreed.
So what, are we concerned about that?
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the
Still
point
haven't
I'm making at the
answered
moment.
one question. This is what Alex, I'll call it out. This is what you do. You go into the chat room of a show and you say something with a massive statement. You say, you're all hypocrites. So I've asked you 3 or 4 times now, please explain how we're hypocrites. And I still haven't had an answer as to
No, he's
how.
walked it back. He's
fair
walked
enough
it
then.
back.
Maybe-
He walked it back. He said, I'm sorry, I was overzealous. He didn't say sorry. He just said, maybe I
Okay,
was
so-
overzealous.
so we're not
overzealous, maybe because we've got
Say
ourselves
sorry.
mixed up a little bit. No, I'm not saying sorry to you, James. I'm not saying
Say sorry, I called you hypocrites.
sorry. Get over
Come on,
it.
man.
You're all men.
Come
now.
on, Flower.
My point is, though,
You're asking
right,
too much, mate.
Maybe we've got ourselves mixed up a little bit here. What I'm saying is,
We
though,
haven't.
no, I'm sorry. I think we have got a mixed up. I think we're just going to have to just agree to disagree on this.
Can I-
Right?
can I-
What
can I
I'm
say
trying to
something?
say is-
Alex, no
What
one
are we
knows what you're
disagreeing
talking
on?
about.
What are we disagreeing on?
Can I say something? Can I add my bit? This is. I don't want to be. I don't want.
Go on, James.
I don't want to be
James,
interrupted
I'm the
now, Alex.
Anvil, you can be Brett the Hitman Hart. I'm tagging you in.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't want to be interrupted now, Alex. I'm going to spin this 180 onto you. The only hypocrite on this screen is you. And there's a reason for that. And I'll give you that reason. Last week, when we were talking about Thomas Frank, you said, word for word, if he was a good manager, he would be more ruthless. And me and Sava said, what do you mean? Give us an explanation. And you said, look at Maresca at Chelsea. He's ruthless. And I said, after one game and 1 week of training, did he get rid of anybody? You went, no. So, end of conversation. You're the hypocrite. We ain't. Boom.
Okay,
Done.
so let me just finish. Let me just go back to that.
Everything that you just said.
absolute-
No, hold on. I haven't finished. I
I've
haven't
just
finished.
listened
I
to what
haven't
you.
finished.
I've just said
I'm just listening to you walk for about 20 minutes.
Alex, wait.
Let
James finish. James finish.
We haven't finished. I haven't finished. No, that was
boom,
that
Ben.
was-
It's your point then. To make your point then. Bloody hell.
argument number one
to be
about
fair,
the
to be fair,
hypocritical.
James, just real quick, if you're going to say boom as in a mic drop, you can't then pick the mic back up and carry on talking. The boom thing has to be
I can do what I want. No, but first of all, hold on.
Mic
Alex
drop,
just
hang on,
thought-
let me carry on.
In fairness, that's the hypocritical stuff, and then everything else that Alex has thrown at us is what we basically say day to day. So I don't know how he's throwing shade at us when we're saying we need to let Son go, which is a ruthless act, as he would say. We've been saying the whole time we need to get rid of Udogie. We were saying get rid of Romero. We've been saying get rid of XYZ. So you've come on and gone, we need to be ruthless. Why doesn't no one say that? We're like, well, we've been saying this for the last fucking 3 months. What are you talking about? It's like you realise you're wrong, and what you've done is you've changed the subject to go, yeah, everyone knows that we need to be more, we need more players, we need this and that. Like everything you've just said, no one has ever disagreed with. And if they have said that, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, Alex. Yeah, there you go. You picked it up and you put it back there. Mic bounce. That's what we call it. Mic bounce.
I mean,
from now on.
can I just come back to that, because I think I've got a right to reply, as he's accused me of being a hypocrite. What I would say at the moment, we're on the same track at the moment. Maybe I've said something wrong in terms of not changing my wording about the club. That's maybe the only thing that I've done wrong here, right? Maybe a bit overzealous about the hypocrite, because I've got what was said on that stream. A lot of people are going at me a lot of the time as well. So, I mean, regardless of what I'm saying, I'm not going to apologize for what I say, because at the end of the day, when I look at that squad, that is not good enough, right? And that's where I have the problem at the moment. So for me, I'm sticking to what I feel at the moment. It's my opinion, right? And I think I've got a similar opinion. We've just proven now we've got a similar opinion to everybody else at the moment. So that's we're all the same at the moment. But this is not great at the moment. So for me, I've got nothing really to be ashamed of right now. The only thing I would say is maybe I should change the term of Thomas Frank just the club as well. But he will be judged on that next season. Let's be honest here, and he needs to prove himself. And unfortunately, it's going to be starting from day dot, right? And I think, if you don't think that, I don't know what we're doing here. Unfortunately, right? And I've got nothing against Thomas Frank. People might say I'm having thrown shade at Thomas Frank. No, I'm not. It's just how the cookie crumbles, right? He will be judged from the very moment he's getting judged right now. And
Is he getting judged fairly, Alex?
I don't think it really matters, mate. Unfortunately,
I think it's massively important. I think it's massively important that the Tottenham fans separate the club's business. And as someone that has sort of defended Daniel Levy in that, like at the moment, I always say that you can't judge the window. You shouldn't even judge the window when the window closes. You should judge it 6 months later and let everyone settle in and see what happens. But reality is, people are going to judge it as it goes along. Thus far, the window is an absolute shit show, massive shit show. But I don't think that's on Thomas Frank. If anything, I feel sorry for Thomas Frank. I don't blame Thomas Frank. I think he is the victim of multiple different angles of attack from a very frustrated fan base. But I think that the fan base need to separate their frustrations with whoever it is that's ruling the club right now and whatever decisions are going there. And I think they need to kind of, for the benefit of the club, like if we're all supposed to be Tottenham supporters, everybody should be pulling in the same direction, at least when it comes to the manager and at least when it comes to the players. You can do what you want with the ownership, but with the manager, it doesn't help anybody if every time something goes tits up, the Ange-inners. There's nothing to gain, by the way, for Ange, people that still yearn after Ange. He's gone, right? So you can cry about it all you want, but he's not coming back. So what's the point of, what does it benefit any man or woman to be using every opportunity to bash the new manager with just as he's starting? I think it's crazy.
Can I disagree? And again,
you can try to.
Well, I'm going to disagree. In my opinion, listen. Again, I need to overstate this. It's nothing against Thomas Frank, right? But when he started talking to Tottenham, he would have had a conversation with Tottenham and the terms of what's going on at Tottenham at the moment, right? And the project, and he's explained this all in his when he's talking to the press, right? They came to a consensus, and that's why he's taken the job, right? He had the same conversation with Man United. I don't know when that was, but this is what I've been told in rumours. He didn't take that job, right? He knows Johan Lang. He's worked with him before, right? Okay, he would know, right? He would have known the challenges at Tottenham because it's all publicised with Daniel Levy, right? So on that premise, I don't feel sorry for him. Unfortunately, I don't feel sorry for him whatsoever. He's just got to get on with it, right? If he proves his worth, fair enough. Listen, like I said, I see the guy. I think he's very, very promising at the moment. It's got nothing to do with him, right? It actually shows a lot about the director of football, again, going on the premise of the director of football, which is another concerning thing for me, which has been for years now, right? But for me, I'm sorry, he's going to have to get on with it, because when you listen to people like Les Ferdinand on the overlap, he kind of explains it really well, right? When you have these meetings with these people, right? Les Ferdinand, yeah, the who used to be at QPR as a director of football, and he's done different high-profile jobs before. And he was on the overlap, and he explained it, right? I think Postecoglou was in charge, and he says when Postecoglou was having his little, hysteria sometimes about what was going on, he would say, "Well, I'm sorry, but when you're having a conversation with the club, the director of football, the people that are trying to employ you in there, who want to get you in, they'll explain what is going on." You know what I mean? And if there's an agreement there.
For Sean's point though, for what Sean actually said was, Sean put a lot of this onto the fans. If I'm not wrong, Sean, like Thomas Frank's getting a lot of shit from a lot of different sections for different reasons. Yeah. One, because of the transfer window. Two, because his name isn't Ange Postecoglou. Right? Three, because he come from Brett. All these different things. So when we're saying we don't feel sorry for him and it is what it is, Thomas Frank deserves, surely, like any other manager going into any new club, he deserves a clean slate, some time, and to implement what he wants to implement. But we've got fans that after I would say free
Nuno
friendly.
all over again, Savra,
Right.
isn't it? Nuno all over again.
Yeah, like we've got to learn from that. Listen, and I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. Hands up. I'm guilty of that with Nuno. But we've got to learn from this, Alex. And people are calling this man out before anything's been seen. And I'm not talking about a bloody friendly against Luton and Wickham. I don't care, right? He's being called out, Alex. This transfer window at the moment, he's been given one first team player. One, right? At the moment, he's on pre-season tour where his only striker, let's be fair, his only striker, Dominic Solanke, is not playing games. Kulusevski and Maddison are not fit, so he's got no creativity. His only left back is now injured as well. And this is before the man's had a transfer window or had a first team senior game or put out his best 11. So I don't think everyone's being too fair. Why don't we sit back, wait, stop talking about him being ruthless, stop talking about this, that, the other. He would have known this, he would have known that. He's been at the club about 3 weeks. Like, take a step back. Let the man do what he wants to do. People are expecting that Wickham and Luton, the games against Wickham and Luton, that Spurs are going to be playing free-flowing football when he's had about 8 days on the training ground with these players. It's just ludicrous how we're not taking a step back and saying, right, let's see what happens. This man's not going to change the club in 3 games. This man might take 3 to 6 months to implement his style, and fans go, no, it don't take that long. But well, look at Pep Guardiola in his first year. People have got to calm down, Alex. He's a football manager, not a magician.
Just to challenge that, just real quick, that notion, not to challenge it, sorry, to add maybe a caveat. Not that there's a concern here. I 100% subscribe to everything you just said, Sav. If Conte had come in or Mourinho had come in, do you think there would be already more vocalization from those guys around going on pre-season tour with not much help from the board, not much help in the way of activity? Or, like, I guess what I'm saying is Thomas Frank's nature is quite a calm, considered guy, doesn't really speak too loudly, doesn't make a lot of, issues wherever he's been, whatever he's done. Does that potentially add to the inactivity in as much as there's not? Can you imagine Thomas Frank banging down the door of Vinay and Daniel Levy going, "What the fuck's going on here?"
I would agree with you on that. If Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte had done that in their first windows, right? But if you actually look in their first windows, I don't remember Conte and Jose making any noise. The problem is everyone remembers Conte for the noise he made at the end. Yeah. So when people go, he wasn't a yes man, he stood up to, well, hang on, he nearly got 2 years deep before we had the outburst. I didn't see the you know that big window he had where he got in Richalison and Bissouma and all of Spence and all them. The only thing we got was a slight murmuring of, oh, Spence is a club player, but it wasn't a big outburst. If Conte in that window had a major outburst and called out the club, I would have gone fair play. But he didn't. What he did, he actually waited until it started to go wrong, then had the outburst. For me, Thomas Frank is 3 or 4 weeks into his tenure as Tottenham boss. Do we really want him in press conferences? Because we don't know what happens behind closed doors, right? No. Do we really want him in press conferences to go, yeah, I'm really disappointed by, like when he was asked questions today, yeah, I'm really disappointed that Daniel Levy's not back. Like, I mean,
no, but if you heard something more around, like, yeah, look, obviously we're working hard on our targets, but it is important that there's some additions coming in. When you look at the other clubs around us that are trying to achieve what we're trying to achieve, and their kind of spend, Tottenham is certainly working hard. Something towards that ends, but the answer is just no, private. We keep that stuff to ourselves. Like, it's not for you to know.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The problem is we all want gratification from a manager. We all want gratification from the words. I think the problem was with Ange, he said too much. Like, he just spoke and spoke and spoke and spoke. For me, Thomas Frank just gave the sensible, mature answer of, listen, I like my squad. We're looking at players. I'm not saying any more. I like that because the problem is, Sean, flip it. Anything he had said that would have been like what you said great for us to hear. But what it would have done is everyone would have drawn their own conclusions.
Yeah,
See,
100%. Good point.
he's
100%.
a yes man. Oh, he's going to cause trouble. See, he's not being.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good point.
think
Fair
Frank's
point.
done
He's playing it
anything
the
wrong.
sensible way.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 100%. Spot
I
on.
just think he's being sensible.
The problem is with that, though. The problem is with that is when results don't go against him. That's where it happens. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, the thing is, I hate this word logic. I hate this word logic because logic does not happen with Tottenham Hotspur. I only look at the past. That's the only logic I go with now because logic's nothing to me. Because if it was logical, Tottenham Hotspur would have done it a long time ago. Right, a long time ago, but we don't do that. Right, we do what we think we can do.
You're not a fan of logic. Not a fan of logic.
No. Well, logic is obviously for me. Yeah, obviously, Mr. Box Office's logic and Alex's logic is completely two different things. But the point is, though, yeah, right.
I'm waiting to see that.
You know what I mean? But the point I'm making is Tottenham Hotspur never have done things the logical way. So it's like, well, I can't only go on what the past is because that's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. I've been so downbeat about Tottenham for so long now. So you see, this is the thing. I can see things when we don't have good results, and I think there will be a really hard period for us. I think it's going to get really tough for him. And I do hope that they're not going to. I just think I'm just going to see what will happen next. You know what I mean? Again, I don't want anything bad to happen to Thomas Frank, but I do feel that the club are not really doing anything. They're not helping him. You see what I'm saying? You know, especially with the last debacle with the last player that decided to stay at that club, which I don't want to talk about because I've left that situation 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So,
He's already
this
told
is the
us,
thing.
Alex. Alex, he's already told us we're going to lose games. This is going to be hard work. He's already said, I need time. He's said all the things, but fans don't want to listen because we assume that a new manager coming in means that we're never going to lose a game again, right? Fans already making their mind up. If he doesn't finish in the top 5, I don't want him. You're like, hang on, we finished 17th, and you think we're just going to rise up the rank 12 places? Why can't we wait and see? Why
do you think
can't we
those
give him a few months?
We spoke about this yesterday, guys, right? On Spurs 5. By the way, links in the description, guys. Smash the subscribe to Spurs 5. Also, get onto Football Heritage TV and Mr. Box Office. I'll put the links up in a second. Boys, the common sense, the logical, the reasonable, the mature version of management that we have in Thomas Frank, saying things that are reasonable, but not necessarily what you want to hear. Sometimes that in and of itself, when you're coming from a guy who promises you great things, who promises you a title in his second year, and yes, he likes to remind everyone of that. He also promised a title challenge in his second year that he never mentioned again when he realized that was out of the equation. When you say everything and then you just filter out the things that are no longer possible and you just keep reminding us of the things that are, then you get to that kind of stage where you either believe it or you don't. Thomas Frank, a couple of days ago, walked out of a press conference and basically was asked what his expectations are for the year. And I won't bore you with the whole story, but in a nutshell, that the journalist said that you're 66-1 to win the league, which essentially places you at seventh in the league. And Thomas Frank said, I'll take that. And we had a massive debate about this on last night's show, went on for about an hour. I've got to be honest, like my immediate reaction to that is it's probably entirely reasonable to say. And I think all of us would probably sit there and say right now, what's our squad level at? Where are we sort of in the stack rank of squad strengths? When you factor in, as Sava correctly pointed out last night, the 4 competitions, the Champions League, so you can't rest players twice a week. And maybe we have a slightly better squad than some of the teams like Brighton or Forest overall. But when some of those teams don't have to play 2 games a week, or if they do, it's at a lower level, etc., maybe it does place you about sort of 7th to 10th, something like that, maybe even slightly lower. Entirely reasonable. But when your manager comes out and says it, and the last manager that you had was saying things that were audacious and bold, which brought in a lot of fans because they like to hear it. Does Thomas Frank saying, I'll take 7th right now, does that like logic? Does that reasonable outcome? Does that kind of, how does that sit with you? Because to me, my initial reaction was like, Fucking hell. We're not really reaching for the stars here, are we? But maybe it's perfectly fine. I just wanted to get your takes on it, guys.
For me, I think it's no matter what he does now, he's going to be picked apart. If he come out and said, "I'm going to win the league," people go, "You're an idiot." If he says, we're aiming to get in the top half," you're not aiming high enough. And we spoke about this. And for me, I don't think we've got the 7th best squad. So I think if he gets us the 7th, personally, I think he's done well with what we've got as things stand of the squads how they are. But like we're saying it one hand. We're working on it, on getting signings in. If he said, "Yeah, I ain't happy with my squad," that upsets the apple cart, and then Daniel Levy doesn't sign anybody, you're still stuck. So no matter what he does, what way he turns, he's stuck anyway, because there's people obsessed with Ange, so he's never going to be good enough. There's people saying that Ange won a trophy, so if he doesn't win a trophy, it's a lose-lose. I feel sorry for the guy. I actually think, I think the two most frank fans, if you want, are probably Brian and Sava. And even Sava said, after a year, if he ain't performing, then we'll have that conversation. He has to go. So it's not like people are kind of going
season games.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, because of there is nothing going on, and there is no links, no happiness as such, because none of this was getting picked out when we was Morgan Gibbs-White and Kudos. It was like, wow, he's getting his players. Look where we're going here. And then Morgan Gibbs-White falls through, which is nothing to do with him. Well, is he a yes man? Oh, he's happy with this squad now. Is he just like, it's just lose-lose, isn't it?
He can't win. James, you're right. He can't win. We've gone from a manager that just says loads and like. I was taught this. If you change your opinion every day, you don't have an opinion. Like if you change your opinion every day, you can never be wrong because you just pluck out the one time you said it, right? So I guess with some of us that stick to our opinions, right? You live and die by that opinion. But Thomas Frank for me hasn't said anything untoward. I also don't think I don't think his response was actually meant to be, "Oh, I'll just definitely take 7th." But James, I make you absolutely right. Right now, I think people need to remember we've just finished 17th. Teams are strengthening. We really haven't. And we've got Champions League football to tackle. 7th at the moment with this squad isn't terrible. But the problem is everyone's going to beat him with that stick because Ange finished 5th. But when Ange finished 5th, he did so with 1 game a week. And Chelsea, Villa, Newcastle, all of these other clubs weren't as strong as they are now. But fans don't like to factor those metrics into the conversation.
Well, what I said was the top 4 are the top 4, in my opinion. 5th, Newcastle. 6th, Aston Villa. But for me, Villa and Newcastle squads are 4 or 5 players better off than ours are. So not only have we got to get 4 or 5 better players in to match their squad, we're then going to have to get 6 or 7 in to actually have a better squad. So for me, we're miles behind. And if he pulls that off, I'll be shocked, to be honest, because like I said,
what about if Man U buy a few more, James?
Yeah, exactly.
What about if Man U buy a few more and they're playing once a week? You know, you got
Brighton, Forest, all of these teams are good. So if they can't keep investing and we don't, not only have we got to catch up to those 10 places, we've got to catch up and build on them. And so far, Levy, Vinay, whoever it is, Lange, has shown me no signs of catching up.
Agreed.
I just want to ask you guys, Danny, I'll start you on this one, mate. The kind of conversation tonight's been around, like, let's have reasonable expectations out of Frank because we finished 17th last year in the league.
Yeah.
If we are saying that, and Sav, I don't want to put words in your mouth, mate, but like you and I feel strongly that Ange was a bit of a fraud, right? A managerial fraud who got the job done, managed to find the right words in the right order, but generally speaking, was a lot of luck and also a lot of, just cherry picking of sound bites. If we're saying that we finished 17th last year, but we could have and should have finished a lot higher had we had a better manager, then Danny, I'll start with you on this one. Is it not also, if we're sticking to that, I don't know if you feel that way, Danny, but like on that basis, then the comparison of having Thomas Frank shouldn't be versus a 17th, because the squad, if we're saying that the squad was more capable than it showed in the league last year, then we're just getting back to where it was. We should be able to get back to wherever it was anyway. And then if Thomas Frank has any additional value above and beyond just the squad's natural strength, we should be able to improve upon that, right? So is it unrealistic? I don't want Thomas Frank to be on the receiving end of all of this unnecessary criticism, but I don't also want him to get a free ride because those people that feel the opposite to the Ange inners want to go, well, you're just going to hate on Frank, whatever. So therefore, to balance it out, I'm going to give him a free pass, whatever. That also can't happen. We have to be balanced and say, you are a better manager, or at least we think you are. We hope you are. Therefore, you need to get a tune out of this squad. And if the squad is capable of being, let's say, 10th on fair value, then you need to be better than 10th in order to be considered a worthwhile appointment. Is that fair?
Yeah, no, definitely fair. I think for me, Sean, I think what I'd like to see from Thomas Frank this year is to finish in the top 10. That's realistic based on what we've got right now, right? I think it'd be a failure if we don't even finish in the top 10. I think we have to finish in the top 10, right? But what I want to see is us start to implement a structure to this team. And I want to see that we're hard to beat and we're not open up like a free brothel, right? We're not open like that. So the way Ange was basically in the Premier League, that I don't want to see us like have 18 losses again, right? Or however many losses we had last season.
I wish it was 18.
And I want us if how many was it? How many was it? Was it more?
22 in the league.
22. Yeah. So I mean, even worse. So look, for me, I think it's harsh to judge someone like him right now, especially where he hasn't been given nowhere near the players that the other managers have been given when they started their journey at the club. And on top of that, we have got a team that did finish in 17th in the league, even though we won Europa League. We did finish there, and those players have to show the manager and us fans that they are capable of playing the way that the manager wants them to play, and they are adaptable, and that they can actually play more for the badge, right? Rather than play for, well, the last season, it looked like half the players didn't even want to be there towards the end of the season. So to judge Frank before he's got even 10 games in, let alone like he hasn't even started really yet. So I just think it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. And for
Can I ask a question on that?
Just one other thing, James, before you do. For me, also, people got to bear in mind that the last two clubs that Frank managed, that he started badly in both those clubs, and it took a bit of time for him to get into it, right? So people have to understand that as well, that he's going to try and implement a new tactics, new system, new way of playing, harder to beat, harder to break down, harder to beat. So it's going to take time. And the preseason really is for fitness. It's not for anything else. Yes, it's to get a little bit of competitive edge back into the team, but that's going to come when the Premier League starts. So for me, yeah, it's way too early to judge someone like Frank before we've even given him 2 first-team players, let alone just the one that we have got.
With that, mate, with that, adding to that, like what Sam said, Pep took a season. Pochettino was dreadful in his first season, and the same at Chelsea. He was shocking in the first 3-4 months at Chelsea, and then they got better and better and better. But the other thing I wanted to add is, obviously, you said about we had a 17th place squad. What is actually the scenario if our squad is actually a 17th race squad? So the players ain't as good as we think, and he can't get the tune out that we were all hoping for.
Then
is he then going to get the criticism, or is it generally that we don't like? For me, I've said for the last 3 or 4 years, our front line is championship. I know, I believe that. I think Kudos is class, but I think that's a championship front line. So how can I be expecting him to get in top half, top 7 with a championship front line? I mean, he's upgraded one, fair enough, but
because I think the team is
I think
good
he's
enough.
a good coach. I don't think he's a miracle worker.
He's not. I agree, right? But I don't think 17th is a true
I agree with
standing
that.
of where we are, right? I do believe we are a top 10 club with the squad, and I believe that if he is as good as people say he is and what he's shown to do at Brentford, then he should get higher than 10th, right? I'm not saying he's going to get 5th, 6th, maybe 7th, 8th, or 9th, right? But he should be in that top 10, barring the fact that we don't have another injury-ridden season like last season, and we end up playing Ben Davis as our left back for the whole season.
Danny, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a
Go on.
question? Something you just said there. Maybe you or James, one of you I'm about to get credit to. When you look, there's a massive difference between a manager and a coach. There's a huge difference that I don't think fans talk about enough.
Yeah.
Right. And the people that we've just talked about that went in and took time, have you noticed it's more often than not the coaches, the people that are actually implementing a philosophy that can last, that can be sustained. Like you said with Poch, both at Spurs and at Chelsea, started really poor and then got better and better and better when the players got more game time. Right?
Pep, Klopp,
Pep,
even Arteta.
Right. Coaches, very good coaches, takes time to get in. Problem we're going to have at Spurs is people will want results immediately.
Yeah.
So if Frank has the opposite start to what Ange did, for example, in the first 10 games, I don't mean like we're going to not win in 10, but if Frank has a mediocre start and we're sitting 11th or 12th, after 10 games, people are going to go, that's it. He's shit. See, he's never managed proper club. He can't cope. But what if people give it time? What we should see, if he's as good as people like me say, is you'll start to see after 15, 20, 30, you'll start to see, hang on, I now see what the formation, I now see what the tactics are. The players have got used to it. It's whether or not the fans are going to have that. Now, what people will say is, hang on, you didn't want Ange. Well, the problem is for 2 years, we didn't see any of that, right? We didn't see that it was getting
worse.
right. Exactly. So I think all of this talk about league position, look, if it's going to be 17th, not having any of it, but all this talk about he has to be 5th, he has to be 7th, he has to be 8th. Can't we measure it on how do we go throughout the season? How do we impress? How do we improve? Who's improving? What partnerships are we building so that when we're going into season 2, everyone's good to go? We now make a couple of additions.
Do you know
we're
what?
just not there as a club. We're not there.
I want to see, Sav, like to add on to your point, for me, what I would be let's just say excited as a Spurs fan to see, right, is the progress that we make in terms of the way we play our football, the way we are hard to break down. So if I'm not going to judge the first 10, 15 games on what he's capable of. I'm going to judge the second half of the season, because that for me is when I'm going to start.
If we go 7 defeats from the first 10, you're not going to get sucked into the negativity?
No,
we won't.
No, we won't. I don't think we will.
I think it depends. And by that,
to be honest,
mean,
do you know what? If we're going to get battered like 4-0 every game, then it's a different story, right? Then it's something fundamentally wrong with him and the squad, right? But like what I'd expect to see with Frank is that I want to see more consistent passage of plays. So like when Ange was playing, when everyone talks about this Ange ball, right? That when we had those very, very rare moments where we played this scintillating football, right? It was really beautiful to watch, but it was very far. It was very, very few times that we saw that, right? And I want to see Tottenham actually have a better passages of football on a more consistent basis. I want to see pressing in a more structured way. I want to see the Frank style implemented in the games. Well, in terms of and adaptability as well. Sorry, in the games that we play, depending on the teams we play. So if I'm going to see, because let's be honest, right? We're all going to be able to physically see what's going on, how the team's progressing, whether it's regressing, progressing, whatever it is. We're gonna see it, right? So if I'm seeing the progress, then I've got more hope that we just need a bit more players to kind of play more consistently the way he wants and keep improving. That's how I
See,
see it.
I think we've all. I mean, maybe I'm jumping on the bandwagon here, but I could almost see improvements already from that first few games. The way
I
we
can,
played
yeah.
out, the way we played out from the back was pass and move, and
Yeah,
I
pass and
personally
move,
saw
yeah.
that. The
But
one
also
thing
more
that I did
confidently.
notice,
It was more
is-
confident the way they were passing and moving.
and the one thing I did notice is the moment we got over the halfway line, if it wasn't Kudos running from his own half, we had nothing.
Nothing.
And that
yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
for me doesn't rely on Frank, because you can only what is it? You can only lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. Like, you can only do what you can do. There's certain things. Again, set pieces, we look solid. We look good from taking set pieces. So there are things that you can see and go, oh yeah, I can see this. But my
that's where the quality comes in, James. It goes back
exactly,
to your point.
that's my point. My only
the front
worry
line.
is this squad is nowhere near good enough, because it's all well and good us going, right, Pep Guardiola, here you go, here's Tottenham Hotspur, now do the same, do it. And you go, well, hold on, I've got Brennan Johnson and Solanke. What do you want me to do?
Look what happened in Pep's first season at Man City. It was
Pep could
up
be
and
here
down,
for 7
right?
seasons with this squad, and he'd do nothing. Like, you
Yeah,
have to be
finished.
what?
What?
Wait, what?
You're telling me with the likes of Brennan Johnson, Richalison, Tel, that he would be doing what he's doing?
So the manager's meaningless then?
I think no. But that's what
Pep would improve them tenfold. But
yeah,
I think
but
the
I'm
point
saying
you're
Frank will
making is
improve
it
them.
wouldn't be.
I understand that.
It will.
Yeah. That's what I said. We will be top half of the table. Like, that's what I'm saying. We will.
Everybody in the chat right now. If Pep Guardiola was our coach with this squad this season coming, and if he'd had 3 months of time with them to get them ready, where does Pep get this team to finish? Carry on, James. Whilst the chat's
for me, like I said, and I put Frank up there because I think Frank's a quality coach, but I think you can only expect so much. Like, you can't get Richarlison, Brennan Johnson, Solanke's, Archie Grays. You can't get these guys winning leagues and being in Champions Leagues. They're not good enough. You can only do so much with a coach.
Was it the Luton game where there was a passage of play with Kudus, and I think, was it someone passed him the ball and he went past some players, and then he was looking around and there was no one there for him to play the ball to, or something like that?
Well, I got stick.
It was like, or he was like frustrated. He looked frustrated or something like that because no one made the run. He cut the ball back to the
edge of the area, and it was Jamie Donnelly took a poor touch, took another poor touch, and then fluffed the shot wide. And because I called him out, I got slandered for it. When realistically, everything he did was perfect. If Jamie Donnelly would have hit that first time, that's a goal scored opportunity. But they're not good enough around it.
Can I just mention, though, so far in pre-season, what we've not seen, and bearing in mind, I don't care about results. What we've not seen in pre-season is, first of all, we've not seen Kudus have the chance to link up with the rest of the first team players and the other creative players. We've not seen Kudus get to link up with Maddison or Kulusevski, for example. Yeah. But second of all, the positive, and I know everyone only cares about the results of preseason games, which baffles me greatly because you don't get any points. It's just crazy, right? But what we did see is, look at the back four. And Frank mentioned this. Frank mentioned it after the games. He said, I've been concentrating at first on the defensive side of things. Yeah. This is not a silly man. He would have seen the number of goals we conceded last year, and he would have gone, well, the first thing I'm going to sort out is, let's be a little bit more solid and hard to beat. And you can see a back four's in play already. And you've got the two in the double pivot, right? Yeah. That don't allow balls coming through. That side of things, he will sort out and we will be more difficult to beat.
Yeah.
However, James is right. Going forward, you got Kudus, but unless you've got Kulu, Maddison, and Solanke all on the pitch at the same time, the other day attacking, it was Kudus and no one else.
Yeah, I agree.
And your point, Danny, that you made, what Kudus kept doing, he's superb at this. He gets the ball on the halfway line. He's got 2-3 players around him. He doesn't mind. This is how you can tell if you're a good player or not. And Ginola was the master at this. If you give the ball to a player and he's got 2-3 men around him and he doesn't mind having it, right?
Yeah.
He would spin those men, not Ginola. He spun his men, broke the press, and you saw him look up. He'd give it to Tel or Johnson. And every time, Tel or Johnson, because they're not good enough, go backwards. And you could you could see Kudus looking at them as if to say, hang on, I've just broken the press. We've bombed forward and you guys have slowed it down and gone backwards. Now, if you chuck in better players, go back. If you chuck in a Mikatadze, a Grealish, a Fofana, Maddison's, Morgan Gibbs-White, if we'd signed him, that wouldn't have happened. So I think everyone needs to relax, take a chill pill, and let's let the coach. Let's let the coach have some time with his best players and actually coach a football team. What will happen is if we lose to Arsenal on Thursday, it's going to be utter bedlam that we've lost a friendly to a superior team.
Is there a trophy on the line or something, by the way? Is there some sort of trophy to win?
I don't know.
No? Just guys, super quick. A couple of super chats I haven't got to. Andy Humphrey, big up to you, my man. Super sticker, a really nice super sticker. Thank you very much, buddy. I can't see what the super stickers are, but thank you very much for the super sticker. I hope it's I hope it's a funny one for everyone in the comments. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. JB Macaulay from Australia saying, Sean Butler, proper commentary. You are the best. Sorry, not the best, my man, but I do appreciate the super chat and appreciate your generosity and your support, my man. Thank you very much.
I think Alex is the best.
Alex has got to come in with a final bomber so that we can all go to bed with a smile on our face. How about that? But Alex, I'm just going to quickly get these ones done. Mashina Joe, good to see you, my man. You look a little bit like, who's the guy who's the Arsenal commentator? Is it Turkish? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
You look a little bit like Turkish with that. Maybe that's I don't know, cultural appropriation. Didn't mean to, mate, but it's a cool look you got there, mate. Very cool. You look like a hard bastard. Thank you very much for becoming a member. I appreciate you, buddy. And Daniel Field with a super sticker as well. Chew, Daniel. You are the Clapham Junction of the Tottenham community. We're always picking you up on the super sticker train. Appreciate you very much. Alex, mate, let me ask you this. What is your number one dream but realistic signing for Tottenham Hotspur in the next week?
I don't like my attack at the moment, so I don't really like my attack than Kudos, but I think he still needs to improve. So I'll take Grealish all day long.
Take Grealish, would you?
I'll take Grealish all day long right now because I think he's realistic. Or who else is there out there that's attack? I haven't really done I've done research on players, but I just can't remember at the top of my head now that was in bad form that we could pip off, take off, and then.
Are you guys worried at all about how much is Prem proven a necessary thing for you?
No. You're good enough. You're good enough.
No,
I've said all along, man. I want Adeyemi at Tottenham. To be honest, I think he just solves everything on that left-hand side for a long while.
Who? Sorry,
Adeyemi.
Karim Adeyemi, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, from Dortmund. I just think he's fire. He's so quick, good on the ball, goals. Yeah, I think he's class.
He's
young.
Player. I don't think. Wasn't he going to leave this summer? Wasn't he going to leave?
Yeah, he was being linked away at the start. Yeah.
So you're not worried. So there's no concern if you. Are you more concerned if you go to a place like France though and bring in a Malek Fofana? You bring in a player that's done really good things out there. No concern. You're just happy to bring.
How many times where they come from? But
go on, James.
If they're good, I don't think it's concerned on where they come from. I think it's concerned if they're just good enough. You know, I know a lot of people go back to the N cheese and stuff, but they were all big risks. They were never setting the league alight and going, "God, look at this player." Yeah. They were all like potentials.
Yeah, do you know what?
It's like when we had the chance to sign. It's like when we had the chance to sign Doué way before PSG signed him, right? That's the type of player he was already setting the league alight.
Yeah, but would he have become the player that he is today playing for Tottenham? You never know, do you?
Not.
It's different horses, different courses. But what I get pissed off about, I've got to be entirely honest, is when I see Tottenham are linked with Kobbie Mainoo for 50 million quid. And the intentions are that we'll pay United 50 million quid for him, and then United will go to Sporting and pay 45 million quid for Morten Hulman or Hjulmand, whatever, right? And I'm like, just go and get Morten Hjulmand. He's a better version of Palhinha. Total midfielder, right? He's an absolute baller in the defensive side of the game. He's got a lovely pass and a cracking shot when he gets more advanced. Perfect fit. People going, don't want him. He's got an Arsenal tattoo on his shoulder.
Oh,
Like,
God,
what are we doing here? But at the same time, they want Eberechi Eze, who came through the Arsenal Academy and is an Arsenal fan. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's the whole thing with how many foreign players we've got on our squad at the moment, and we need to get rid of a lot of them at the moment, unfortunately, because of the European squad thing. I think that's why people are looking at the homegrown thing more. You know what I
Isn't
mean?
that not a problem anymore though for
Yeah.
for Europe?
No,
It's never a problem anyway, is it? Because they got the B squad. It's never a problem anyway. You can just register 21 players or 20 players and then just use your B list.
Yeah, but is that good enough for a Champions League campaign? You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, because if you had 20 players and there were Palinias, Adiemis, and Kudus, whoever they are, and then you had all your youth in B team, you're never going to use them anyway because you've still got 20 players to rotate. It's only like 11 aside. There's 9 backups there. Whether we're saying that we got a good enough squad, that's completely different. Of course we haven't. But the English thing, we can just load the B squad up with all the English, then just register left.
But for me, I hate the word backup. I hate it because if we're going to do that,
you hate the word logic. You hate the word backup.
I hate it.
You regret using the word hypocrite. I mean, I
hate it with a passion because I'd rather have someone that's competing. If you don't want to compete,
just bypass that and go back to the conversation.
But the point is though, I think for me, because unfortunately, I think people forget we're in Champions League next season. So I think for me, you need players that are going to be able to compete. Because if a player gets injured, right?
Yeah, but that's a different. You was just talking about English quota, and I said, well, it doesn't matter. You use the B team, and then now you're saying about the squad not being good enough. We know that.
Yeah, but what you're saying English quota? Those young players that you're saying, if the 20 are available or not available, you're going to have to go back to them if one player gets injured or a couple of players get injured, like we had the same scenario last season.
Yeah, but I'm not saying keep the same squad, Elliot. I'm saying we need to buy to be in the Champions League. But all I was saying is the English quota you spoke about, they can come from the B list. We can just register less in the first team, and then you can take players from the B list and put them into your first team if you need them.
Yeah, B list, but some of them are mostly going to be youngsters, aren't they?
Well, no, not necessarily. I think it's like I know obviously Mikey Moore is, but I think Jamie Donnelly comes under that.
You don't want Jamie Donnelly though, mate.
No, I don't. But that's a way of filling the English quota, the Lancashires and stuff. If they're not going to go out, they can stay in the B team, and you just register less English for Champions League squad.
So so you have a scenario though. What if you have a scenario that you have a few injuries and you've got to rely on those players in the sub bench?
That's a completely different conversation. Like I've just said, the squad is not good enough. It doesn't matter if they're English or not.
You're not answering my question now. You're not answering my question now. I'm saying to you,
I've just answered it to you.
No, you haven't answered my question. All you're saying is, so you're saying that it's all right just to put these players in, right? Cool, right? But like I say, you've got a scenario because the thing is, though, we want to actually be competitive in this Champions League, don't we?
Okay, and I'm gonna answer your question with exactly the same way, and you can understand what I'm saying. Our squad is not good enough for the Champions League.
Well, so that's the point. That's what I'm saying at the moment. That's exactly what I'm saying. So this is why I'm concerned. Is at the moment it's like.
So how did I not? Mate, you make my brain hurt, man. I swear, you make my brain hurt.
You don't need to be rude about it. I'm saying that I'm just saying, but showing my frustration at the moment. Why it's like.
You just said I didn't ask you to answer your question. I said exactly the same answer, and you went, "Yeah, that's what I'm saying." The exact same thing.
It's like butting heads with this guy. I swear, this is getting my nerves. He's really getting on my nerves now. Seriously,
mate,
he's getting my nerves. He just gets on my nerves. Really, honestly,
mate,
really get on my nerves.
You're
get on my wick, bro. I swear. Oh my god!
You didn't answer my question. Please. I answered exactly the same way. But yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Oh gosh, this guy.
Jesus Christ.
Sava, what did you bring up there, mate?
It was just a list of who's homegrown, who's not, who's foreign, who's club trained in a chart.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I until that whole segment went completely away from it. I was trying to sort it out for you.
No worries, no worries.
Let's be
Guys,
fair, Sean. Can we
go on,
just
Sammy.
before you go? Can we just be fair?
Yeah, go
I
on.
think that what we all want, no matter how we think we can get there, whether they're Premier League, whether they're foreign players, just want to see better footballers than what we have right now. I think that is the be all and end all. That I don't care if you're Ange in, Ange out, Frank in, Frank out, Paratici, Lang, Vinay, leave it. We need better footballers, whoever is in charge. We could sack Frank now. You could bring in Glasner, who everyone wanted. Cool. Glasner's still got this squad, right? So we need some better players. We are now in the Champions League. We have not got the Europa League to fall back on. And that is something people really have to take into account. We can't rotate for the Champions League like we did for the Europa. You just can't. So
Do you think we can rotate at all, even against the weaker teams that we'll get? And still, because what is it? It's the first 8 qualify, which I don't think we'll get into, but 9th to 24th. So only 8 teams out of 32, I think, are going to be out of the cup altogether, right? The other teams get a second chance in the playoffs. Do you think Tottenham have got good enough to be able to? No,
I genuinely don't. We're all sitting here, Sean, talking about that we don't even have a good first 11. Do you know what I mean? Like we're sitting here talking about not having a good first 11. I feel like against the better teams in the Champions League, you've got to play your best teams, and against the weaker teams that we might face, you've got to play your best team because they're the games you've got to ensure that you get your points against. So this is a tough year coming up.
Sean, oh, sorry, Alex. Well, I was going to say, for me, right, what I'd like to see realistically, whether or not it's going to be realistic or not, right, I'd like to see Richalison leave the club. I'd like to see Son leave the club. And I'd like to go get another striker, like maybe Mikhail Tadzi, just say, right, because he's something different up front. If he's the centre forward number 10 type player,
quality,
right? Get him, right, and I don't think he would cost anywhere near what other people have quoted us or what the reports have been saying about how much it'd cost. Go and get Paulinho on loan. Go and get it done. Just get it done, right? And then for left wing, I don't know options. I don't mind just anyone better than what we've got. And I think most players, I don't know. Who would you recommend for left wing? Because I haven't really been looking at what players would be good for a left
wing. There's dozens of them, mate. I would like on the top end of the market. Personally, I don't think this guy is as good as the market thinks he is, but I think the Rafael Leao would be something that's terrifying. But I still don't think he's got the same out. Like this, he's hit and miss. But Leao's potentially available because Milan are in financial trouble. That's why they can't get Arden Deshari, for example, done. I'd go and get David Neres
or Grealish. Sean, we should be all over that. We should be hijacking that deal.
Do you know
if we went and got?
Yeah, Arden Deshari would be a game changer, but he's an 8, right? But on the left wing, you could go and get David Neres from Napoli. Napoli are looking for they're moving things around. There's an option there. I genuinely think the Garnacho is a really good option for what we need. I really do. I think if Thomas Frank has the conversation, like I said in the tweet earlier, I think Jack Grealish, if Jack Grealish is having a conversation with Everton right now and is convinced David Moyes that he's not just coming to put his feet up and pick up a paycheck, that he actually wants to go have another crack at the kind of last chance saloon or whatever. If that is the motivation for David Moyes to be interested, then we should be looking at him, because the best version of Jack Grealish is a baller for sure. Yeah, I think outside of England.
The thing is, Sean, do you know what?
You go to Malik Fofana at Lyon. There's a player at Monaco that I'd take. You could go and get someone like Callum Mwendo that can play across all the front three. You can get Evan Gassan that can play in the 9 and also play on the left. There's 2 or 3 wingers out in Spain as well that are realistic. There's players
you've mentioned, right? They are all gettable and they all transform our front attack, right? And because you've got you bring in a striker, or centre forward, you bring in a left winger. Then you're looking at, imagine if you had a Mikhail Tadzi up front, just say, for example, you had just say Neres on the left and Kudus on the right? Already that's transformed our front line. And then you've got Maddison behind and Paulinho in the midfield with someone else.
Do you guys know how much you get for qualifying through the group of the Champions League?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're guaranteed about 50, and if you get out of the group stages, you get about 70, and if you get to the quarterfinals, you get about 80, and then it goes
So
up from there.
do you think we could be, if we was to spend 50 to 80 million, do you think we could qualify through the group? Is it like basically what I'm trying to say is it a risk worth taking for Levy? Spending 80 million, so a Polina on loan, two £40 million players. Is that going to?
What Chelsea have done, mate? Chelsea have essentially front run their next 5 years of revenue because they've created such an unbelievable squad that's got so much rotation potential that they've basically guaranteed themselves, especially if they go and get Donnarumma. They get Donnarumma now, right? He's about because Chevalier is going to PSG. So Donnarumma's now out. Donnarumma, where's Donnarumma going to go? He's only going to go to either Manchester United. Have they got the money for him? Doubt it. Or he's going to go to Chelsea. Right? Newcastle have just gone and bought. City have just got James Trafford. Right?
Yeah.
And they've got Ortega and they've got Edison. So maybe that will be a next season thing if Donnarumma doesn't go this summer. But if Donnarumma does go this summer and goes to Chelsea, in my opinion, Chelsea are one monster centre back. And possibly, I still don't think that they haven't got a top draw, top class striker. They've got Liam Delap, who's a big potential, and they've got João Pedro. They're going to sell Nicholas Jackson and they're going to sell Nkunku. Probably going to get good money for them. I think they get who?
They're going to get close to competing with the.
If they get Donnarumma done and they go and get a top draw centre back, because I don't think their centre backs are that spectacular. But if they get a top draw centre back and then they go and get a 9 who's a worldie. Chelsea squad with the size of it and the options that they have, the different tactical things that they can put together. Chelsea for me are just as scary as Arsenal, Liverpool, or City.
But Chelsea are always like that, though. They do their business the way they do it, and they've always got someone that competes and stuff. So
I wish we did our business.
Never. Well, unfortunately, our attitude is what James is doing right now. It says, "Oh, it's all right to just put some youngsters in because they can put in the B squad." And I'm just like,
James.
this is what I get annoyed with.
Actually, I didn't even say it, mate. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm not waffling. Stop being rude.
Do you know what this is, right? It's like
Alex
James is like a light.
This is why I've got to speak loud because people interrupt the main event. The point I'm making is though, yeah.
Don't matter how loud you speak, no one fucking understands.
I don't really care, Cage. I'm talking, not you talking.
Fucking, the point you ain't shut up. You just made no point. Come on.
Now you're saying sharp now. See, I can't even say my point because you keep on.
I didn't say sharp again.
Anyway,
if you gave your arsehole a chance, you'd hear.
Let me speak, for goodness sake. Let me speak, and then you can speak. I'll let you speak. Let me speak. For goodness sake, James. For goodness sake. Anyway,
James.
Oh my gosh. That's why I get annoyed with backups. Why you laugh? Why you put your head down for? You were talking, bruv. I was trying to speak. So what do you want me to do? You know what I mean?
You're full of shit.
This is taking a mick now. This is taking a mick. You know what I mean?
Guys, let him.
Alex, go.
Right. So what I'm saying is that I just want a squad to compete because we're gonna all be saying, right, when throughout the season, because we've already seen it with Udogie, who's injured right now. We're worried about a left back, right? We've seen Ben Davies on that left back, right? Who we all said we don't want him in the squad, right? Sometimes he gets wrong criticism, but sometimes we're looking at him thinking, why have we still got him as left back, right? And we'll have a situation, and I bet you any money we'll see Archie Gray at right back. And I know none of you are going to be happy with that.
I see what you're saying, Alex. I do think this is what Spurs will do. What we will, instead of buying a left back, we'll shuffle Spence over to left, and then if ever he's there and Porro gets injured, we'll put Archie Gray at right back, and people will go, "Oh, really good, versatile." Yeah, we will, rather than get what we need. But James's point wasn't what you said. James's point wasn't. James was talking about the squad registration rules for Europe, not saying that we just need to fill the squad with kids. There's a B list and an A list. That's what James is saying.
I hear you.
But my question is to everybody on the panel, including Box Office, because I'd like to know where he gets his information from. When did I say I'm happy with the squad? I want backups.
No, listen, it's not that. It's just my issue. No, but the thing is that when you said about the B squad, I'm not really bothered about the B squad at the moment. All I'm
But
bothered about
if you don't understand, mate, don't start throwing out claims saying people are asking for backups and bits and pieces because you don't know what you're talking about. If you don't understand, that's fine.
James,
James,
if your feelings are
Oh,
hurt,
so I
I'm sorry your feelings are hurt.
Alex, wait. It's James' turn.
So I have to listen to fucking 20 minutes of the grass is green outside, and in the moment I make my point, I get spoken over. Your turn to listen. The main event's real speaking now, yeah? The real main event. No one knows what's going on. First of all, you said I wanted the youngsters and fill the squad with youngsters, and I never said that. You said about registering English players. I told you there's two lists when you register your squad, an A list and a B list. And that's what I said. You can go in it with less English players. You just don't register them in your A list because they'll be in the B list. That's what I said. So where you're getting your information from, where I'm saying, I want backups, I want kids, I want rotational players. Unfortunately, mate, you're just lying to yourself and making stuff up. It's the same. I can't talk. No, okay, go on, crack on.
Yeah, no, but you're saying I'm lying. I'm not lying. I'm just frustrated that I want a.
Okay, so 5 minutes
That's
ago.
What I want. It's got nothing to do with the helping.
5 minutes ago.
James, what do you want?
This guy's fucking mental.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm not
say my
mental.
point.
Don't tell me mental.
Four
I'm not
more
saying I'm
hours.
mental.
4 more hours.
Listen. I'm not
Every
mental.
every time I answer your question, you change it.
Sorry, James. I'm not here. I'm not here to have a political
Unfortunately,
debate
you
with
are.
you. No, I'm not. I'm not here. I'm not here for that, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to hear you moaning then when our squad is not good enough next season. Then, right? If you're going to start doing that,
you're making up more lies.
No, don't
You're
start talking
lying
about lies.
again. You are lying again.
No, I'm not talking about lies. I'm not talking about lies because at the moment I'm not here to go on about what is the B squad, what's the A squad. All I'm concerned about is Tottenham Hotspur competing.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What are you going about then? I don't care about
the question about English. Mate, I can't, mate. I can't. I get more fucking education out of my 11-year-olds, mate. Honestly.
Relax, guys.
Alex, James, both of you. I can tell, obviously, right? You're a bit banter tonight, but one at a time. We're like a club.
I just want to make my point before he changes it again. So I'm just going to make my point. I have never ever said I'm happy with a squad ever. I'm actually the amount of times I've come onto your show, Sean, and said over Ange, I thought he was happy because he backed Ange. The reason I'm leaving out is you get to this point and he drops the ball and he doesn't buy the quality. We get to the point where we qualify Champions League, we go to that next step and he drops the ball. That's what I've always said. So I've never said I'm happy with the squad. Second of all, he said, right, we need English players for the English quota. I answered his reason. Now that means obviously I want all children and English players into the squad, which I never said. He then just said he doesn't want to hear me moaning about the squad not being good enough when I've continuously said sell Son, sell Solanke, Gray isn't good enough, Bissouma's not good enough, Kulu's not good enough. So I can't moan about the squad when I'm calling them all out now. Like, what is your point? You've not made any points.
Point is that you keep on going on about the B squad and what.
No, you're
missing. No, I never.
B squad and an A squad. I don't care about the. I just
I answered your question. You answered the question. You asked.
Can I just make?
You asked me a question. I answered your question.
Can I make my point now? Because it's just
clearly, because I'm not allowed to finish mine.
Can you just because you just really annoy me now? You really
are. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, because you just annoy me now. You really are annoying me. You really are annoying me. My point is though,
relax.
All right, no, because he's just annoying me. He's just annoying me. My point is though, no, I can't because he's just annoying me. What I'm trying to say
Alex,
is,
stop saying it and just get the point out.
No, let me finish for goodness sake. Oh my gosh, right, okay. What I'm trying to say is that all I'm concerned about, regardless what the egalities of the A squad and the B squad is, right, and what youngsters can be in that one, and I can't understand that. All I want to know is, can Tottenham with the squad that they have compete in the Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup, and that's it, with what the rules are in each competition. That's all I'm bothered about. Right? All the other stuff, right? I'm not going to get into that because it's just too much to deal with and whatever. It's not my problem, right? But at the moment, I'm looking at that squad and I don't think it's good enough at the moment. And I'm worried about that.
Everyone agrees with you.
You
Alex.
just said
Everyone
this,
agrees
That's
with you.
all it needs to be.
But
Not all this, you
Alex,
said
Alex,
this, you
Alex,
said that, you said this.
Alex,
And that's my basis.
Everyone agrees with you on that. James included agrees with you that the squad isn't good enough. Everyone agrees with you.
And that's all that I was trying to say. All this hoo-ha about, oh, it said this and said that, backups and all that. All I was responding to is when you said, well, we can fill that with this beast. And I was like, okay,
but the specific point James was making, was about whether or not we can afford to go and buy another player from an overseas contingent. And James is saying if that becomes a problem and we have to reshuffle the squad because of the registrations, we can still. It's not like we suddenly can't field enough players. We can make up the difference with the younger players in the squad. But we all agree. Can we all end this stream on a nice agreement where everyone's happy? We can all agree that the summer transfer window thus far has been a shit show, and that we all want more. We all want certain players to leave the club, and we would all like some better players to come in, of which there are hundreds. But when you waste 2 weeks on the Morgan Gibbs-White debacle, who, in my opinion, never moved the needle in the areas that we needed it to move in the most important places, there's been an opportunity cost where other players that we could have had have gone in other directions. And that to me is the biggest problem. I think we could all agree that right now our frustrations are with the club. I think we should all agree that our frustration shouldn't be with Thomas Frank. It's not his fault. And that we should all be really behind Thomas Frank. And even if we're trying to point score, because some of us did and others didn't want Ange to leave, at the end of the day, we are where we are. We should be hoping that the club move players on, hoping that the club bring new players in. We should all be behind Thomas Frank because we all want what's best for Tottenham Hotspur. Can we all agree with that?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Guys, we've been going for 2 hours and 16. It's well past some people's bedtime, I think. Guys, what I'm saying, massive thank you to everyone. Sava, I've got your link here, mate. What's coming up in your world tomorrow, my man? Are you back up? You back up early doing this stuff?
Yeah, got a 10:30 morning show, and then Savron Lubo ask us anything at 6. I might do something transfer at 10. Depends how much I can be bothered. But oh god, I want something to stream about. But thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you coming on, mate. Appreciate you coming. I just thought I was lying in bed watching Ozark, and I was like, I might just go and throw out a cheeky 45 minutes by myself, and then all of a sudden, absolute mayhem.
You wouldn't have it any other way, man. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Box office, I'll come to you next, mate. What's going on with your channel? Are you doing much this summer?
Yeah, I've got to do more, and I was looking to do something today, but I'll try and do something over the next couple of weeks, well, next couple of days or something. But yeah, that's the main thing at the moment. Trying to be more active and stuff. Really, yeah, that's it. Really.
All right, mate. Thanks for coming on, buddy. I hope that whatever anger you have, you haven't actually gone after me tonight. You've been distracted by you and James. But whatever those text messages were that you sent me, where you were upset with me and disappointed in me, I hope that you know, like the door's always open, my man. The door's always open on the channel. So thanks for coming on, buddy. Please get over to both Football Heritage TV and to Alex THFC 193. Links are in the chat. Please also, guys, get over to the Spurs 5. If you haven't seen it, it's been absolutely insane. 5 lads, lot of history between a lot of us, and it hasn't disappointed, I don't think. You know, last night we did a 4-hour, Monday night, sorry, we did a 4-hour, no, it was last night, a 4-hour Bedlam show. More debates than the Houses of Parliament, and more to come. Next show is Thursday night after the whatever's going to happen against Arsenal. Danny, James, what are we doing on your socials, mate? Who am I plugging for you? Where are we going? What's coming up in your lives, guys? Where can we find you?
No, well, you'll find me here, Sean. You'll find me wherever, whenever I feel like I'm coming on. Whenever there's a stream on and I've got some time, then I'll come on. But yeah, and I want to just plug the Spurs 5 because it is truly a really good channel, and it's I think it's going to get better and better as time goes on. And yeah, I think just plug your channels, boys, because onwards and upwards.
Appreciate you, Danny. Thanks for coming on, mate. Great to have you back, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great, mate. Great. James.
Can I just say one thing? One thing before James. I got to do an Alex, right? I genuinely think Box Office and Flower need their own show together. I think that would be comedy gold.
Fuck off, Danny. Joking here, what?
I would pay money to see that, and I think Alex would love it.
James, are you got anything to plug, my man?
No, mate. No, no.
If you happen to live in the Norwich area and you need a plumber, especially this time of year, you need something done in your loft, especially if it's insulated and you want to see James more than he has tonight in an Alex Box Office debate, then send him upstairs into your roof. You know, the
only thing I would say is everyone should sub to every Spurs channel. To be honest, everyone's got different opinions. It's always good to hear different opinions, whether you agree or disagree. I mean, I just think it's always good to hear both sides of the argument.
Yeah. 100% agree. Sorry, there's some donuts in the chat. 100%, James. Yeah, get over to everybody. Everybody. I don't think if there's anyone streaming right now. Let me just have a quick look. See, I'll redirect to anybody that's in the Tottenham space. Let's have a quick look. I subscribe to everybody. Is anybody subscribed? Yeah, Spurs.
If there's any channels you don't like out there, let us know, and Sean and I will just buy them. So just let us know.
Yeah, I was going to say
stay where you are right now. I'm going to send you over
the Spurs. I was going to say the Cartel 5. That's what you should call it.
That's what we do. Apparently we corner the market. I'm going to send you over to friends of the channel, the boys at Spurs Kings TV. Stay where you are, guys, and please smash the.
Are they live?
Smash the. Yeah, they're live right now. Yeah. Please smash the
Spurs
Talk Show raid. As we send you over there, we love you all. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats. Oh, sorry, I didn't get to the last two. I brought them up. Russell Coit is saying, "Is this the alternative 5? Oh, is this the alternative 5? Good to see James and DK on. 100%, mate. It was a good show tonight. I really enjoyed it. Didn't expect it, but you know what? The things you least expect are the things you most enjoy." And Dietrich Kane saying, "Alex and James are like Tom and Jerry." That's brilliant. I don't know which one Tom was. Yeah, we'll figure that one out. We'll figure that one out, guys. Listen, stay where you are. 600 people. We'll go over there and make sure you smash the sub as soon as you get into to Marlon and Ashmatic's channel. We'll send you over there now. Slap in the Spurs Talk Show raid. See you again tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the guys on the panel. See you soon. Take care. As always, come on, you Spurs.
Ciao.